The continuous call team.
Here he goes, straight through. Then he's crunched. What a tackle! That's one of the great rugby league tries.
The continuous call team is thanks to Holden. Race in now for an additional $1,000 factory bonus on every new Commodore. 16 teams have battled it out all year.
Going towards the post. It's there. It's there. They pick the goal. They win the game.
After 26 rounds, 8 teams were knocked out. 3 weeks of grueling finals have passed, and now there are only 2 teams left.
This is the most freakish try I have ever seen in my life. I cannot believe this kid.
South Sydney Rabbitohs.
This should be a try. This will be a miracle try. Quite incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Canterbury Bulldogs.
There's a kick over the top. What a magnificent try. That's one of the great rugby league tries.
Who will take the coveted prize?
He puts on the afterburners and good night nurse. He scores a brilliant try. A wonderful piece of rugby league.
The greatest day of the sporting calendar is here.
Try! Oh my goodness gracious me! I'm astounded!
And who better to bring you the action than the greatest rugby league team of all, the continuous call team.
Fasten those seatbelts. It's game on.
Ray Hadley.
He bounced away from one and scores. Oh, what a corker of a try.
Daryl Broman.
They are just playing a sparkling, outstanding brand of football.
Mark Riddell.
It's like 2 boxes. They're just going toe-to-toe, blow for blow, waiting for each one to crack.
And Peter Basaltis.
The atmosphere, absolutely electric.
The 2014 NRL Grand Final. Thanks to Holden, Yates Buffalo Pro Weed and Feed, Flower Power Garden Centres, Hare and Forbes Machinery House, Ajax Foundry, Magic Glass, Rossi Boots, Winston Blinds, Adtrans Hino, and Channel 7 News.
He's gone straight through. He's only got the fullback to beat. He's beaten him and he scores. He gets it down. That's a remarkable try. Right boot strikes it, guides it towards the uprights, and it's there. Straight between the uprights it is. For the line, this will be a great try. He had defenders clinging to him. He shrugged away from them, and his right arm stretched out and slam dunked the ball. Still going for the line. He's in. Oh, what a brilliant try. Absolutely scintillating. Magnificent.
The 2014 Telstra NRL Grand Final.
Don't touch the sets. Don't touch the dolls. Don't you dare go anywhere.
And now from ANZ Stadium, Sydney Olympic Park, Ray Hadley.
Yes, good afternoon, good evening and welcome. I'm Ray Hadley. Great to have your company from ANZ Stadium, ladies and gentlemen, for this grand final. South Sydney and Canterbury Bankstown. What a game it promises to be. We've had a very warm day developing into a cooler night for the grand final, which is about 1 hour and 10 minutes away, we would think. We've already seen 2 great games. We started with the Holden Cup, where the New Zealand Warriors have come from 8th position to beat Brisbane 34-32, and then the inaugural Interstate Challenge. The odds-on favourites were Penrith. I think $1.15 with the bookmakers. They've been upset by the Northern Pride from North Queensland, 32 points to 28. I wonder whether that signals what will happen later this evening in this wonderful game between South Sydney and Canterbury Bankstown. We'll find out exactly who is in the team shortly. We know that Isaac Luke and Michael Ennis are out. We know that Apisai Coruscant and Moses Mbai will come in. We know the referees Shane Hayne and Jared Sutton is his assistant. The touch judges are Steve Carroll and Jason Walsh. The video refs are Bernard Sutton and Diamond Luke Phillips. And it's all set to explode here in front of a capacity crowd. It's been sold out for 3 days. We've got our reporters around the grounds. And let's go to Matthew Wolfrey. He's at Redfern Oval for the South Sydney contingent. Matthew, a very good afternoon to you.
Hello, Ray. How are you going?
I'm particularly well. Plenty of people there, I would suspect.
Look, that's right. It's slowly packing up here. It's more and more crowds are filing in as we speak. They've already pre-sold just under 1,000 tickets for this event here today, and they're expecting a few more than that here. But it's been the pubs and hotels around Redfern that have been packed out throughout today. I was out at one earlier today that actually had to stop serving drinks for an hour because patrons were spilling out onto the streets, and they needed to get things back out into control. But the streets of Redfern have been buzzing. Everywhere you go, there's cars with those flags flying, honking at each other as they go around. I managed to get in a ute with a whole heap of South supporters a little while ago and just drove around the streets, and it's just the atmosphere is buzzing down here.
Matt, we'll come back to you just before kick-off and then at half-time as well. Alice Hogg is our reporter at Belmore Sports Ground, where, of course, they've been inviting fans to come in, as they have been down there at Redfern Oval. A live site at Belmore. Gates have been open for the last 10 or 12 minutes. $10 a person, $20 for a family. You can go and buy your tickets at the gate. Merchandise, food and drinks available right through the course of the evening. Alice, a very good evening to you. The scene there, please.
Hello, Ray. So, as you said, the gates have only been open for 10 minutes, and I'd say there's a good couple of hundred people already here setting up on the field, some picnic spots there, also up in the stands. And given how many people were out today on Burwood Road and even at Canterbury League Club, I'm expecting that there'll be a few more hundred Canterbury fans to come, waving their flags and, making it a sea of blue and white.
Well done. We'll come back and talk to you before kick-off as well. Alice Hogg there, our reporter at Belmore Sports Ground. You've been hearing from Daryl Broman and Mark Riddell right through the course of the afternoon into the evening. Daryl, a very good evening to you.
Evening, Ray. Evening, Peggy. Good evening, everybody. Yeah, what a fantastic occasion it is. I mean, it is the best part of the season. It's a game that everyone wants to see, and you know what? At the end of the day, we probably haven't. I don't think we've probably got the two best performed sides in the competition. I think Souths are one of the two best, probably the Roosters with our minor premiers. But the Bulldogs, you've got to congratulate them on their grit, their ability to do what they've got to do to win games of football. And they've done that during the semi-final series. They've won 3 games already. They're going to have to win 4 to win the competition, but they're certainly capable of it. They're a very strong side. We know how good a coach Des Hasler is. They've got, I think, a dozen players who have had first-grade experience before in Grand Final. So they got a bit going for them today, I think, the Bulldogs. And actually, I've tipped them. I think they can win today. But what a great crowd we've got here, too. I reckon it's 50-50 at the moment. Having a look, as we look on the northern side, it's full of Bulldog supporters. And on the southern side, all the Rabbitohs. But there's a great sprinkling in between of mixture of both, red and green and also the blue and white. So I reckon it'll be 50-50 here tonight.
Well done, thank you. And Mark Riddell, a very good evening to you.
Yeah, good evening, Ray, Big Man, and everyone out there. Yeah, look, I just think we're in for one of the best grand finals this evening. We've got 2 traditional clubs, the Bulldogs and the South Sydney Rabbitohs. Just got a great following behind them. Their members and supporters are just phenomenal. We've seen that throughout the week. The footage of down in Burwood Road in Belmore, the same throughout the South Sydney area. I think we're in for a cracker this evening. For the football side of things, look, I'm tipping the Bunnies tonight. I thought they've timed their run perfectly this evening. I know there is a heap of pressure on them. It just seems this week's just all been about South Sydney and the 43 years without a premiership. But I think they're ready to go. I think they're primed. I think Michael Maguire's got them focused and really enjoying this week. I think they're going to be ready to go this evening.
Okay, gentlemen. Well, look, you would normally hear this gentleman's voice elsewhere, but you'll be hearing him with the continuous call team this evening because I had a phone call from John Singleton. And the owner of the network said to me, I've had a long association with Warren Ryan and I've had a couple of phone conversations with him. I'd love to know what he thinks about South and Canterbury because he knows more about winning grand finals than most men around at the moment. So I took the lead from Singo. We had a conversation earlier today and I'm very pleased to say that Warren Ryan's on the line right now. Warren, good evening to you.
Good evening, Ray.
Well, I'm delighted to hear from you. In relation to this game tonight, South and Canterbury, you've watched the semi-final series, no doubt. What's your gut feeling? What do you think?
Well, it's hard to divorce yourself from your gut feeling to what you want to see happen. And funnily enough, you'd think, being an old Bulldogs coach, that I'd want the Bulldogs to win, and I don't wish them any ill, but I just think that the Rabbits, it'll be a wonderful thing if South Sydney, having been kicked out of the comp, and they've been back 12 years now, since 2002, I believe I'm right there, and for them to actually, win a title, since first ones for them since 71, since Georgie Piggins kept stealing the ball by hooking it back, which you're not allowed to do in play the balls now. I just think it'll be terrific for the game and terrific for the club. But the funny thing about these big games, you can talk about favouritism and everything, and the first and foremost, nothing that's been done previously ever has much bearing on a grand final outcome. Your scrapbook doesn't play for you, and oddly enough, neither do your all-season points for and against. If that were the case, South Sydney would be over the line. But even thinking that your superior points table had materialised automatically on game day, it could be a very fatal mistake for the South Sydney Rabbits. They've got to play this game a certain way with a mindset to... It sort of puts the contest right in the ballpark of the Bulldogs, because the other mob are raging favourites, the Rabbits, and that's where the Bulldogs come right into the picture with all the dangers of an ambush. There's a strategy to counter an ambush, a very important strategy, and I hope they're aware of it, the South Sydney side. Michael Maguire, he himself probably hasn't been to all that many grand finals, but he's probably looked on at Bellamy, and the principle's very simple to counter an ambush, but it requires extreme an enormous application, both mental and physical. The thing is, you have to stage an ambush yourself. You've got to stage one yourself, or you become the victim of it. It's a sort of retaliate first, Ray, if you get the drift.
So I'm intrigued by this reverse psychology. So in other words...
Oh, it's more than psychology. It's the way you apply it. It's the application of the outdo the Bulldogs at their own game.
So would that depart from what Maguire would normally do if he were playing a team that were favoured to beat his team, if you know what I mean?
Well, let's go back to the Rooster game. They fell 12 behind. I think that's fatal. And to their great credit, they then put on a brutal defence, absolutely physically intimidating defence. The Rabbits, they've got it. They actually ran first in defence on the premiership table, but we'll forget about that, as I just said. That doesn't play for you. But if they think that they've got to out-attack whatever the Bulldogs put in front of them by way of defence and by what they do to them, I think their mindset's wrong. They'll become vulnerable to the enormous pressure the Dogs are capable of applying to them. Desi's a very wily old customer, and he'll have a game plan to rattle and knock the Rabbits' composure and disrupt their rhythm.
Let's turn the clock back 30 years, Warren. What would you be telling the Bulldogs players to do?
Well, obviously we didn't. We were a similar side, I suppose. Although we'd figured better in the rankings. They've got a free swing. They're like they've got a puncher's chance, haven't they? They're having a free swing from seventh. But I think my Bulldogs, I think the best thing I could sum it up by saying what I used to say to Cement Gillespie before he'd go on: discourage them.
Is that a polite way? Is that
I'd just look at him and I'd say, discourage him, Cement.
You normally did that.
Who's going to discourage South Sydney from the other side?
Oh, they got a lot of...
James Graham's a discourager, isn't he?
Oh, he's a wonderful player, isn't he? He's got it all. He's a ball-playing halfback. He's a marvellous player. I think he's one of the greatest pommies ever to put foot on our soil. He's a wonderful player. And there's another one on the other side in Sam Burgess. They really are good, both of them.
That's interesting, your tribute to James Graham, because, you're almost reluctant to say it as a broadcaster, that you think you go back to Malcolm Reilly and all the wonderful Englishmen that have come here, but I've just been amazed by his endurance level and the ability with the ball and the ability to do the hard things and the tough things as well as do the good creative things.
Well, it's amazing if you look how many times when he's on the field, how often he runs and carries the ball, apart from the defence he has to do when he hasn't got the ball. The way he can take the ball at the line and have a man, his latest trick's to have a bloke on the inside of him, which is terribly threatening, and they got a try out of that recently, and he has a man just outside him on his hip, and of course he's got the man out the back, and those three players, and they require enormous concentration and compression by the opposition defence, so he's eating up the defensive numbers. They play from a scrum line, if you observe it, and when I say that, they have they're attacking a 3-7 split by the opposition, so they're attacking the 7 defenders, but they eat so many of them up in the midfield, in the middle third, that when they hook it out the back, with their fullback chiming in, they always manufacture an overlap. And if the opposition aren't on their defensive game, either to snuff it out by zooming up and crunching someone ball and all, they've got to really be on their slide to cover the numbers. It's tremendously threatening the way he does it and takes it right into the line.
Yeah, it's amazing when you speak about the Englishmen over here and the impact they've had, these two, Sammy Burgess and James Graham. There's not many Englishmen have come over here and failed.
No, because I think they've been well selected. They have to be good for a start. Before it's almost like there's a sifting process. There's not too. Although I do remember one. He wasn't a bad player, but he was as slow as a bus horse. and he played.
Don't mention names. Wasn't. I'm Australian.
He played for Cronulla. I'm trying to think of his name.
Cliff Watson.
No, he's to stroll at the defence line, and he's been good in the bush playing as a country coach.
Let's not mention his name anyway.
Yeah, we might leave him out of that. Warren, it would be remiss of me. I spent the last 2.5 hours outside discussing the last 30 years with my mate David Morrow, who's been your colleague for more years than you would both care to remember. And I think it would be fitting for you via this commercial vehicle to pay tribute to one of the great ABC broadcasters. I've been with him to 6 Olympic Games. I've watched him broadcast over a long period of time. If he should be retiring, I probably should give it up as well, I would suggest, but I just can't believe that he won't be calling football anymore, not on the ABC anyway.
Yeah, well, I'm still scratching my head about that place, fair dinkum, and the direction it's headed in. It was always, to my way of thinking, pretty sound, but I don't know who's taken it, whether the inmates have taken over the asylum there or what's happened. But anyway, we'll leave them with that. But David Morrow, I think that's more important that we give enormous credit to a real pro, and I know you regard him that way. He's a real professional at what he does. One night at the Sydney Football Stadium, there was a very important swimming race on. I can't recall, but he would. He's got a memory like one of those, what would you call it, a photographic memory. But we're in the middle of a football game, but it must have been a bit of a downtime, a goal line clearance set or something, and this very important swimming race came on the television, and he branched into the call immediately of this swimming race. It was quite remarkable, just to show his versatility and give the listeners a heads up on what had happened. Now, it might have been one of the women's great relay finals or something. I'm just not sure. He'd remember it.
I'll ask him about it, but he has that versatility which he's had through his career. I want to thank you most sincerely for offering your opinions. I want to thank you for your contribution to rugby league media, and I'm sure it hasn't finished at this particular stage, but I really appreciate the fact you've come on today to share your thoughts about the grand final with us.
Yeah, and I thank you, Ray, for thinking of me, and I'm going to do something very different today. The big man will be quite interested in this.
What are you going to do?
Well, it's the first grand final. You might be surprised at this. I've gone to every grand final since 1960 as a spectator on the hill in the mud and the blood and the beer, or else involved either in with clubs or in the media, but which is a lot. And I even went to the two in '97 when the one at Cronulla played the Broncos up there. So we got two grand finals in that year. But I had a wonderful time with both Wilco and Dave Morrow, and I'm still great mates with both of them. But I'm going to stay at home with my wife, and I'm about to crack a bottle of white wine. We've got prawns.
You're not on the wine now.
Well, just for this, prawns and bread rolls.
Yeah, hold on. Have you had a beer? Have you had a beer today?
No, I haven't had a beer today, and I'm going to put the feet up and just do something completely different. And if I get really sort of palsy-walsy, I'll go next door. Hal Brown has come up. The ex-Balmain centre is a mate of my next-door neighbour. You probably remember the rhyming slang. Hal Brown, the best centre in town.
Best centre in town, that's him.
Laurie Nichols. Yeah, well, I'm going to go. I might even poke in next door because the boss of the house, Tony Moses, he's a Mad Rooster supporter, and his wife, Kerry, well, she's died in the word Redfern girl, a South Sydney supporter. So there was a civil war last week next door. But anyway, they've calmed down, and they're having a little day at home watching it on the V, so I might go in and watch it.
Well, we wish you the best of luck, a change in lifestyle after all those years, and we look forward to seeing you at Rugby League in the future.
Righto, thanks, Ray. Thanks, Darryl.
See you, Warren.
Thanks very much. That's Warren Ryan.
Ray, just on Warren, I had 2 years under him at Canterbury. When I first went to Canterbury, I was 28, I think, and I thought I knew a bit about footy. Mate, he taught me more in that first year I was there than. And this is no disrespect to the other coaches I had along the way, but he taught me more stuff in that first year than I'd learned, I think, in my life, football-wise. He just had a way of breaking games down and getting to, field positions and just where you need to be. And I'd never really been taught that. Instead of, I used to look at the field from try line to try line. Well, he looked at it often from sideline to sideline, which was very different to what I'd been taught. And trying to get to certain positions on the field, I'm talking sideline to sideline here, and I'll never forget it. He was a great coach, very innovative, and could get his message across.
The middle third,
Absolutely.
The right third, the left third.
I'd never
and then
even considered that.
And just talking then about the way he studied James Graham playing the game and where he stands and where he'll deliver and where they attack at.
Well, he mentioned the scrum line and the 7-3 split. So he's talking about 3 defenders on the short side, 7 defenders on the open side, 2 markers and a fullback, you know.
By the way, just interestingly, I didn't know. I saw Peter Tunks at the stadium, the old Aussie Stadium, of course, Allianz Stadium as it's now known. And I was talking to him, and I hadn't seen him for ages, and we were having a yarn about things and exchanging pleasantries. And a gentleman he introduced me to must be the same fella, because it was a Roosters South game, I think anyway. Tony Moses. And I hadn't met Mr. Moses before, and he said, I believe you gave me a mention on your radio program recently. I said, well, Tony, if I did, I can't remember. I said, it may have been an email mentioned you or something as a desperate Roosters supporter, but lo and behold, he's Warren's neighbour. It's a small world, and best centre in town.
Hal Brown, I saw him the other day.
Hal
He
Brown.
looks fantastic, you know. Hal Brown, I think, in that 69 grand final, did he either play in that or did he run out as the Tiger or something? He did something ridiculous.
Hal Brown. Wait till I get my little book.
Work that out. Let's Google that.
Yeah, well,
he doesn't look old enough to have played in the 69 grand
by the way, just putting his career into context, he was also a Commonwealth Games or Empire Games shot putter. Yeah. Warren Ryan. He represented Australia, I think, in Perth in 62. I think I'm right in saying that. He led Newtown to a grand final, of course, beaten by Parramatta in 81. Excuse me. And then was with Canterbury. I think he made 7 grand finals, of which he won 2. And is recognised as one of the greatest coaches of the modern era. Let me just confirm the athletics so we'll get it right. He was represented Australia, shot put 7th in a field of 16 with a throw of 51 feet 8 inches in the 1962 British Empire Games, and I was right. And of course another famous rugby league player was there as well, and that was Michael Cleary. In the meantime, the toss has been affected here on grand final night. And a young man that we've had a little bit to do with through the course of the year is Curtis Landers. And Curtis Landers is downstairs to talk to us, I think, on the sideline right now. He'll be there in a minute, will he? Okay.
They're just doing the toss. They're talking to him on the field now.
Okay, let's have a listen because he's going to have a yarn to us as well.
Join us for the coin toss tonight. Give him a nice big round of applause. Curtis Landers. Well, Curtis, here we go for 2014. The captains both involved. Shane Hayne will pass the coin. Curtis Landers from Foster Tuncurry. James Graham has caught tails. Tails it is. The Bulldogs have won the toss. Bulldogs will kick off. Johnny Sutton says the Rabbitohs will run towards the southern end of ANZ Stadium. The captains shake hands.
So there you have it. Curtis Landers, of course. The young man that shouldn't have ever come out of hospital walking, but he did. We'll talk to him very, very shortly, the young fella from Foster Tuncurry, a Canterbury supporter, and James Graham was one of the visitors with others that came and saw him there. We'll talk to him in a moment or two and have a yarn to him. I think Channel 9 are grabbing him as we speak. We'll talk to Curtis in a little moment about how he's progressing up there at Foster Tuncurry.
He's walking. He's got a neck brace on. He's walking.
It's a miracle.
It is a miracle.
Well, an absolute miracle, because what happened originally, in fact, I think Mark Levy's down there with him now, and we'll get a yarn with him. Just before he gets to the microphone, I went and saw him 48 hours after the accident with his dad, Ned. I was actually seeing Alex McKinnon in hospital, and Alex's father, Scott, said, you come across and see this other family who were affected by it. It had happened on the Saturday, and this was a Sunday night, I think, after work. And I saw this beautiful young man on a ventilator, and Alex had told me previously that his accident from the doctors, I'm talking about Curtis's accident, was far worse than his accident, and it was possible that not only would he never walk again, he'd spend the rest of his life on a ventilator. And he remarkably, as you saw with that Peter Overton story in 60 Minutes, he walked out of hospital and he's walking here today to affect the toss. He's downstairs. G'day, Curtis. It's Ray Hadley, mate.
Hey, Ray. How you going?
Well, more importantly, I'm going well, but how are you going, young fella?
Yeah, real good. It's a very big pleasure to be here today.
Well, you couldn't believe this, could you? From where you were in that hospital bed on Royal North Shore the first time I saw you with your dad to where you are today.
Yeah, it's unreal. Yeah, I've come a long way, I suppose, but yeah, it's great to be here.
So what are you doing back home at the moment? Are you back at school?
Yeah, I'm back at school 3 days a week, and I'm seeing a physio once a week and working. I've got a program and stuff to do at home, so I'm still working hard at all that.
Beautiful. And how did your team finish up going through the season? I saw the boys up there when I went up to the fundraiser. I said, how you going? I said, not too good. I said, oh, well. He said, well, how you think we're going? We lost our best player.
Yeah, they went good. They
went all right?
Yeah, I'm proud of them. I got back to watch the last game of the season and they got beat and missed one from the grand final, so they're only one short.
How's mum and dad?
Yeah, they're good. Yeah, real good.
And I got to meet your brother and sister up there as well on the night. Lovely, lovely young man and young lady.
Yeah, they told me they met you.
Fantastic.
Hey, Curtis, it's the big man here. What about your Bulldogs? What's going to happen with them tonight, mate?
Yeah, hopefully we get the win. I say by 8.
Bulldogs by 8?
Yeah, that's my tip.
Oh, good boy, good tip.
Well, say good day to mum and dad. Give dad a big cuddle for me and mum as well.
Yeah, I will.
And it's fantastic to hear your voice and see you out here affecting the toss. And you've done the right thing.
Yeah, we won the toss, so...
Tail he called and you tossed a tail.
Yeah.
Okay, mate. Have a good night. Enjoy the football with your family.
You too. Thanks very much.
All the best to you. Thank you. That's Curtis Landers. Lovely boy. And so the end of the story is this. I see him that first night. He blinks at me because he's got no other way of communicating. And his father said he can hear you. The doctor said he can hear you. He hadn't been comatose or anything. So I just said a lot of people are worried about your son. And at that stage, no one knew anything about the boy. He'd been flown down the day before from Port. And I was rubbing his forehead. And I've got the vision of his father, Ned, at the end of the bed, just massaging his feet. Not for any particular reason other than just to take some comfort that he was touching his son. And I walked out of there. And I sat downstairs for about 30 minutes to collect my thoughts. And I've got to tell you the truth. At the time, I was going through a bit of turmoil in my life and I was feeling a bit sorry for myself. And I sat down there and thought, God, would I swap today with Ned Landers, the father of this little boy? Would I swap my life with Curtis Landers? And the answer was, no, I wouldn't in any way, shape or form, because what they were about to go through, because after Alex had told me that the doctor had said that the vertebra was far worse than his, and I saw where Alex was at the stage. So the story has been told and told and told. So he gets out of Royal North Shore. They want to put him into the Children's Hospital at Westmead. So he through the night gets some movement in one of his legs, and he didn't tell anyone. And when his mum came in the next morning, Marie, he said, I've got a party trick for you. And
he lift his leg?
Lifted his leg a tiny little bit.
This was how long after he had the accident?
Would have been 6 or 7 weeks, I suppose, by the time he got out of North Shore. So anyway, she rushed to get the physio, who then got the doctor. And within a very short space of time, they realised that he had almost full movement of the lower half of his body. And when I went and saw him with Laurie Daly after the third State of Origin, when they'd won, I went in with Dave Trodden and Laurie to see him, and they hadn't been before. Well, he'd had a pair of boots that a miner had bought at a fundraiser, Darren Lockyer's boots, and he'd sent them the miner, paid a few grand for them and sent them down to Curtis. James Graham had a photo and some boots there as well for him, so James had been there previously. And he was already a Canterbury supporter anyway, and he was an elite player, by the way. He's being sought by clubs, Canterbury included, in Canterbury. A very, very good player, hooker halfback. Anyway, so he just turned around and Laurie had said, and I hadn't seen him really move that much, and Laurie said, who's that? And he turned around on full axis and looked up behind, like, you know, at the photo. He said, oh, that's such and such. And the end of the story is this. When this all happened, before we'd been in to see him, and the doctor, the specialist who'd given his mum and dad the news on that fateful night that he may be on a respirator for the rest of his life, when that happened, the doctor, according to Ned, broke down and said, Mr. Landers, sometimes things can't be explained. And by all accounts, your son should not be doing what he's doing today with his body, because there's nothing on the x-rays, there's nothing on the MRIs to suggest that anything's different today than when he first suffered the accident. But a miracle has occurred. And so sometimes things happen.
It's a great story, isn't
it? It is an unbelievable story. And you just heard from him there. He's just a lovely boy. And, geez, Darryl, that night the footy show came up there and we raised that money. I've never run into more decent or generous people. And we're not talking about millionaires at Foster Tuncurry. We're talking about working class people who've done well. I mean, they're tradies, you know, who may have, you know, private business and people working for them, but they're not squillionaires. And all they did was open their hearts and their pockets to that family. And
how many did you have there that night? Do you remember, roughly?
At least 600, 700.
It's amazing.
At the club. Just fantastic. And the club, by the way, put everything on.
Yeah.
And the local, beer reps put all the beer on.
Oh, right.
Poker machine companies
All donated machines.
Yeah, donated. The technology, the upgrades for machines. 120, but what they'd done, they'd sold it all beforehand. So it wasn't a matter of doing the auction. I got up there and they said, here's 120.
Done.
To start the night. They'd done it all with local clubs, up and down the mid-north coast, and a couple of clubs in Sydney as well.
You know what, I think it also, I know you just said that, but I was actually up there pretty early on as well. We did a small talk there with his club. And the way the community came together for him was just remarkable up there. They were just sensational. This was right from the start. They had things organised, and they just all got behind him. And it's just, as you said, it's a miracle, and it's just sensational.
Okay, well done. Thank you. 131873. Team changes official, Darryl and Peg. South, well, it's what we thought. Isaac Luke, of course, is out because he's suspended. Apasai Coruscant comes in. Michael Lennis out. Moses Mbai in. It's amazing, just a couple of things. We need to take a break, but two things all through the week. I talked to a few blokes that work at the Flemington fruit markets, and all the
Tennis will play.
Eh? They've been driving me cuckoo. Absolutely driving me cuckoo. They said, listen, you've tumbled for this. Billy, his brother-in-law, knows Michael Lennis's wife's sister's husband, and he's getting around on crutches just to, trick him.
A G up.
And I said, well, mate, I've got a closer link to the club. I said, my daughter's boyfriend trains with them. And he's on crutches and he got 2 broken bones in his foot. No, you wait. You wait till 6:15 or 5:15 in Queensland. He'll play.
Mate, on the footy show on Thursday night, we were just talking off air with a heap of the boys who were there, the footballers I'm talking about, Josh Maguire and them. Yeah. They all said, no, this is a ruse. He'll play. I said, why would he? He missed the second half of the game against Penrith. He had to be injured.
I honestly thought it, though.
Did you think he'd play too?
Yeah, I did. I thought he'd play. I wasn't.
You know what I heard from one of the blokes at the markets. You know how I said his cousin's brother's third removed wife.
Yes.
It traced back to Piggy.
It
was Piggy. It was Piggy.
He started
He started in the horticultural industry. It spread to the flower industry, the fruit and vegetable industry, and then they were talking about the fish markets as well.
Done.
Oh dear, oh dear. Anyway, all of that and more. 131873. Remember last week, Jonathan sent us an email from Double Bay, and I said, Jonathan, you're barred, because he keeps sending nasty. Well, anyway...
What's happened? He's got through.
Jonathan's here. He said, good on you, Ray. I know I said I would never listen again, and I've said some nasty things to you, and I still stand by them, but I was heartened and surprised to hear Warren Ryan show. Top stuff. I think Wock has his faults, like you do, but no denying his contribution to rugby league as a player, coach, in the media. This has changed my opinion of you only somewhat. Well, Jonathan...
So just hate you a bit now.
Yeah, just hates... I mean, the thing about it is, Jonathan, if I depend on you for support, I'm really struggling. But it's nice to know that even though I told the boys at the transmitter to take Jonathan down.
How do you do that? It's not easy.
Block him.
There's only 2 people can do it at the station, myself and Alan James. Block him altogether. And somehow he must have some system to unblock himself, but he's back again.
Or a new email.
Yes,
maybe it's a new email.
I block people on Twitter. If they bag me once, they're gone. No 3 strikes and you're out.
You don't even ask questions.
1 strike, gone.
Can I tell you something? If I was on Twitter, I'd have the same policy, but thankfully I'm not on Twitter. Australia's largest distributor of industrial engineering and safety workplace needs is Blackwoods. All started back in 1878, and today Blackwoods has 66 branches Australia-wide. At Blackwoods, you'll find all your workplace needs. Blackwoods is excited to announce that their premier hand tool partner, JBS, is now on Facebook. Oh, there you go. JBS.
Beauty. Facebook. Don't start me on Facebook.
JBS, proven industrial performance, has been providing high-quality industrial equipment to Australian tradies for over 22 years. Head to JBS Tools' Facebook page today. Get your dose of proven industrial performance and your chance to win one of 10 JBS air ratchet wrenches. Go to blackwoods.com.au for the full range of JBS products. Blackwoods, all your workplace needs. Well done to Blackwoods and well done to JBS, who've been a sponsor of our quiz right through the course of the year. We take a break on the continuous call. I just got a text message from some dear friends of mine, the Bowen family, who reside at Lismore on the mid-north, or the north coast of New South Wales, not the mid-north coast, but the far north coast.
Is this like the Bowen, your good friend?
No, different brand of the Bowen family.
Okay.
But let me tell you, Denny Bowen, the late Denny Bowen, was a trainer on the central coast at Gosford, and then moved north, and we had great success over a long time. I went to school with Denny, and Denny trained some horses for me, and we had a bit of fun together. And Denny, tragically and in tragic circumstances, passed away earlier this year. And just terrible for his wife and his children and his grandchildren. But I was in a position to help with an application for his son Daniel Daniel S. Bowen to get his full trainer's licence because he'd been his dad's foreman. And I just got a text from the family to say Daniel just got his first win at Ballinaray. And I've just looked up the results, and it's race 7. The glory to our Sydney Class 1 handicap. The late Danny Bowen was a desperate Parramatta man, but I think he'd love having the rugby league flavour attached to his son's first victory as a trainer. So Daniel S. Bowen has trained Indigo Jade, ridden by Bobby Alyssa, and starting price $7. And I'm sure the $8,200 in prize money will assist the family, which is wonderful. But I'm thrilled that Daniel, who's only had his full-time licence for a couple of months now, has trained his first winner. So well done to you, Dan. Your dad would be so proud of you, and Brooke, his daughter, tells me yesterday was Mum and Dad's anniversary as well, their wedding anniversary.
Congratulations.
So well done to the Bowen family, and congratulations, and thank you for letting me know, Brooke. It's we miss Danny, and we rejoice in your brother's success and the family's success. Holden is celebrating the Bathurst 1000 with an additional $1,000 bonus on every new Commodore. This is on top of the already great offers on the entire Commodore range, with each Commodore this month receiving bonus registration, bonus stamp duty, and bonus third-party insurance. On now for a limited time. Race into your Holden dealer and do it today. Now, it's funny, gentlemen, that Warren Ryan should bring up our great mate, David Gillespie, who, by the way, I'm told, I think you told me, Darryl.
Lost a lot of weight.
Yeah,
mate.
Looking fantastic, down to his playing weight or even lighter than his playing weight. Cement, just one of the great tough men and one of the great gentlemen of rugby league. Because the other Cape pullers have got me all week and have said...
What?
They'll really go to the line, Canterbury, tonight. They'll put it to South Sydney in the most ferocious fashion. And I said, well, look, in the old days, you're suggesting a stink. Well, they throw a punch, they're in the bin, so that won't be happening.
Doesn't happen these days.
No. But anyway, so they're suggesting that every opportunity they get to put pressure on the kicker, to put pressure, to unsettle...
in your face sort of stuff.
Yeah, just absolutely... And I guess Josh Reynolds will play a role in this because Michael Ennis is not there. His role would have been to drive them cuckoo. And Josh has probably been told to... Well, he may have been said, Des wouldn't say do something illegal, but he might say, as opposed to what Warren said David did, he might say, Josh, I want you to pester them. I want you to drive them cuckoo. Yeah. I want you to put them off their game, but make sure you maintain your own...
Right, get ready. Slash is about to enter the field.
Yeah.
You know how what he'd be saying at the moment, Slash?
What?
He said, you guys, you can't run a competition. This NLR is no good to me. He said, in fact, I may not come out of the dressing sheds.
Let's hope we don't see another Billy Idol unplugged guitar lead.
Got to say, this fireworks stuff is magnificent. It'd be nice if it was dark. Forgot about the daylight saving. Silly old me.
We'll take a break on the continuous call, then come back with Slash. Retiring players being introduced. Anthony Quinn just coming out now, preceded by Johnny Morris, Bo Ryan, Ashton Sims. Now, Anthony Quinn, fantastic man that he is, and Mark Minicello being acknowledged now, has played a pivotal role in the recovery of Alex McKinnon. He's been helping him and brought him to State of Origin driving the bus. Mark Minicello, 259 games. Jerome Rapati from the New Zealand Warriors and New Zealand side, 145 first-grade matches. Jerome Rapati retiring. So this is what we normally do and pay tribute to these players on Grand Final day. Brett White, 196 first-grade games, 3 tests for Australia, of course, more recently a Canberra Raider, and being escorted out by junior players as well. It's a big thrill for those little boys and girls. Matt Hilder, who played in the New South Wales Cup Grand Final last week for Newcastle, beaten by Penrith. And there's Matt, a wonderful career for a series of clubs and playing a lot of first-grade football. Premiership matches for Ben Smith from Parramatta. He's retiring, 152. 152, Ben. He's been at Parramatta for the vast majority of his career and done a good job. Joe Picker from Canberra, from the Rabbitohs, I should say. Then from before that, Canberra, 121 matches. Joe Picker comes out, and a couple of little Rabbitohs fans holding hands with him. Gerald Yo-Yi. Now, he, of course, fractured that ankle in the game in Perth against South Sydney. I called that game, actually, on Channel 9. And it's a remarkable tribute to him that he's here tonight, but he's retired from football after 60 matches. Liam Fulton, 162 matches for the stalwart from the West Tigers, and made a decision to retire. Ashley Harrison, what a great player for Queensland, 15 Origin matches, 276 for clubs, including South Sydney and the Gold Coast. Ashley Harrison, wonderful, wonderful player. and played way above his weight. Jason King from Manly played in 2 Origin matches and 239 first-grade games as well. And there's Jace waving to the crowd. It's a wonderful tribute that the NRL has organised more recently. Brent Tate, well, what about his career? Darryl, 229 for his clubs, 26 for Australia. And
23 Origins.
23 Origins.
It's a career. And I don't know how many premierships he won, but quite a few.
Luke Bailey, 269, 4 for Australia, 15 Origins. Great player, Luke Bull Bailey. And these are, I guess there are people now who've grown up watching these players play rugby league, and time goes so quickly. The blokes I started watching 28 years ago, 29 years next year together, and of course 29 years of the continuous call team. We've gone over 3 generations of footballers. 3 generations. I run into blokes my age now who I were calling when I first started calling myself.
You know what, our careers have been remarkable.
The fact that we're still here is remarkable. That's a remarkable thing. Canterbury finished the regular season in 7th place, by the way. The last team to win the competition from outside the top 4 was also the Bulldogs back in 1995. That team finished 6th, but upset the minor premiers Manly 17-4 to win the grand final at the Sydney Football Stadium. So they're out to create history. G'day, boys, says Simon. Listening to the continuous call team outside the Royal Opera House in London, waiting to buy opera tickets for the girlfriend. Have a great call and go the Dogs. I hope you're not going to the opera tonight, or I see no time difference. You'll be able to listen to us on your device over there. That's great, Simon.
I think it's about 11 o'clock in the morning.
It's 11 hours difference now with daylight saving. So
is it?
Yeah. So it'll be early in the morning over there. It'll be early Sunday morning. Yeah. Anyway, he's buying opera tickets. Well done, mate. Nice to have your company. Another great year, says T-Jazz. Looking forward to the big game. Won't be turning on the TV. Listen to you guys. Become a ritual year after year. It's a bit emotional knowing that cricket's coming up, the long hot summer. You guys are back in 6 months. Look forward to it then. Yes, we'll look forward to being back with you. I'm stuck in a lovely motel in Nowra, says Peter, having a 24-hour break. Going to listen to my first NRL Grand Final, being an AFL yokel, and watch the telly. Have a great call. I hope the Rabbits win. Pete the Trucker. Good on you, pal. Nice to have your company as well. David said some nice things about our interview with Warren Ryan. Thank you for that. And then Cam says, Bolts, Big Pig. Thanks for another great year, the outstanding program. I'm listening, having several cold ones for the first time ever being a Manly fan. I'm cheering on the Bunnies because quite simply anyone but the Dog, says Cam. Well, Cam, good luck to you and have a nice night. From an inner city runaround to hard yakka in the country, Tyre Power has you covered. Passenger, commercial, performance, 4-wheel drive, trailer, even truck tyres. They've got them all at Tyre Power. Tyre Power's got all the big brands, Toyo, Kelly, Kumo, Maxxis, Goodyear, Dunlop and Century at lower prices. With Tyre Power, enjoy the power of buying from Australia's biggest independent tyre retailer, Tyre Power. Call 1321 91 for your nearest store, holiday trading hours, or check out the website tyrepower.com.au. They're right across Australia, Tyre Power. The best way to find out where they are specifically is go to the website tyrepower.com.au. We are the continuous call team. It's good to have your company, and of course you can email us at 2gb.com. We're getting emails coming in from across the globe. You've saved me, boys, says Dan. At a friend's house in LA, they don't subscribe to the Fox Sports 2 channel, struggling with the Bud Light, no visual, looking forward to your call. Thank God for you blokes. Well, mate, it is on Fox Sports 2 over there, but you can listen to us. By the way, we've got an email here from Duck, one of our colleagues. Can you give my wife Blackie a birthday shout? We're up at Nora Head, tuned in. She's listening, doesn't know I've emailed you. Well, you know, he's treated her like a silkworm. He's taking a camping for a birthday to Nora Head.
You know what? He sent me a photo yesterday of his tent set up as well.
Oh, no. I mean,
look good.
Blackie's just a princess. He's put her in the back of the ute and taken her to Nora Head camping for the week. And, I mean, he doesn't, like, you know, most people think, oh, I'm going to go down to the Shangri-La Hotel or, you know, the fancy joint down there. Not him. Nora Head in a tent.
He's cooked a sausage sandwiches for dinner too. He's a beautiful bloke while he watches the footy.
Now listen, boys, what do you know about Slash?
He's former Guns N' Roses, but don't mention that.
He doesn't like
He gets very
He's a guitarist.
Yeah.
He doesn't sing.
There's some other bloke singing, I think.
Well, he's described as the second best guitarist in the world.
Who's the best?
Well, he's Jimi Hendrix. He's passed on. So he'd be the best. He's best.
Okay, here he goes. Listen to this magic.
He looked keen to be here.
Yeah, loved it. How come there's drums? There's no one on the drums.
Hello. Backing track. Backing track.
Lip syncing.
Yeah, he's not singing.
He's not singing.
I got news for you. There's no one singing either. This is one of the great fiascos.
Not a good start.
They've got Slash up there. He's playing and someone's singing, but they're not on stage with him. But there are guitars, there are keyboards, there's percussion, there's microphones for someone to sing. You know what's happened? They've gone to the bar, they're Guns N' Roses type of people. They've got on the Terps. They got here at 3 o'clock, got on the drink. They said, Slash boy, we're going to have a slash. You get out there and do your best with the guitar, buddy. Imagine they've gone to all the trouble to set all the gear up. I mean,
well, they got another trainer.
That's for train.
Well.
That must be for train later.
Train are big. They're good.
Well, you know what they could have done with Train? They could have bunged them out there and pretended.
With Slash.
What Slash was there?
You know, Slash and Train. I've got to say, look, with all due respect to the NRL, I know that we beat him a few years ago with Meatloaf because he was half full of ink or something. But honestly, Tom Jones was sensational at the AFL Grand Final. And Slash, he must know someone at the NRL. Dave Smith must be a relative or something.
Doesn't look like him.
No, his wife must be a cousin or something. That's it. I mean, fair dinkum.
Even though this is a really good song, but I'd never heard of it before.
We better take a break on the continuous call. Oh, well, that's it for Slash.
He's done.
He's done 2 songs and Slash is gone. Look, I got a question to ask. If he's the second best guitarist in the world and the best is gone, Jimi Hendrix, well, what about Tommy and Phil Emanuel? Where are the Emanuel brothers? They must be 4th and 5th. And Keith Urban, he's a great guitarist. He'd be 6th. So in Australia, we've got 3, 4, 5, and we come up with number 2 because number 1's deceased. He plays 2 songs. And off he goes. Now, God knows how much they paid him.
The cash.
I mean, it'd be a couple $100K, you'd reckon. He's done 2 songs and he's gone Slash.
Yeah, I mean, that was good songs.
No, look, you know, loath as I am to criticise the NRL, but I will. That was a joke. That was a fair dinkum joke.
Well, you think this is going to be good now? We've got Train coming up.
These guys are good. I like Train, so you can't bag
Piggy knows the songs. What do they sing, Piggy?
They sing Drops of Jupiter and Soul Sister.
Jupiter and Soul,
you know what?
Sister.
They should have just given Slash the slash and put Train on. That's what they should have done. By the way, emails are plenty coming in. You know how I'm fascinated by FaceTime? I can't understand. Yes. And I did it today. Emma rang me from Los Angeles Day on FaceTime, and there I am in my home, and then Laura's out the back with Brad and the family, and I took the phone out and said, look, here's Emmy. And she's talking to everyone in real time. And now I get this, because I don't understand FaceTime. I'm too old to even think about it. Brian Walsh, who's a mate of mine, he's one of the big trumps at Foxtel. I'm flying somewhere over the Black Sea between Abu Dhabi and London, listening to you on the 2GB app. It's like being there. Great stuff, and go the bunnies Walshy. Now, how does that? He's in a plane.
Well, they're allowed now, I think, on some of the planes, aren't they? The Wi-Fi.
Yeah, the Wi-Fi. He's somewhere between Abu Dhabi and London, and he's listening to us in real. Walshy.
Beautiful thing, Walsh.
Yeah, well, I don't know. What is it, about 7 or 8 hours from there to there?
Would Walshy be up the pointy end?
Oh, I don't think he's down the back. Walshy, you're kidding, aren't you? He'd be in the silk department. Hey, Walshy, Breno's book's been released, by the way. You get a mention there as well. And, or no, it hasn't been released. It's being released on Tuesday week. I hope you're back for the launch of the book, because it's a sensational look at Australian radio. Slash made for good backing music due to collective banter. With no Queensland team in a close game, the Bunnies by 4, says Tex, who's in Cloncurry. By the way, speaking of those network stations through 2GB in Sydney, we go out through 2CC in Canberra, 2NM in the Upper Hunter and Muswellbrook, 2EC, Batemans Bay, Bega, of course, down to the border, Nowra, Southern Highlands and the Shoalhaven, 2ST, Lithgow in the Mountains, 2LT, Bathurst on 2BS, Cooma Snowy Mountains on 2XL, 2GN at Galwin, and for the first time this year, where have you been? 2AY, Albury, Wodonga. Stay with us, please. 4BC in Brisbane, 4CA in Cairns, Mackay the Whit Sundays 4MK, Rockhampton, Gladstone 4RO, Charleville 4VL. We've got Dolby 4DB, Emerald 4HI, Roma 4ZR, Kingaroy 4SB, Mount Isa 4LM, and the Hot 1611 network across Gundawindi, Roma, Emerald, Longreach, Innisfail 4AY. We've got 4LG at Longreach, Mareeba, Atherton, Tablelands, Kick FM 88.7, Bundaberg 4BU. Good on you, Bundaberg, for joining us. We go out to the Queensland Remote Indigenous Network, Black Star Network, Central Australian Indigenous Network through Karma, 27 frequencies there, PNG through FM 100, Perth Sport FM 91.3, and Radio Sport New Zealand taking the grand final as well. Ray Hadley, Daryl Broman, Mark Riddell to bring it, and Train's about to start the entertainment as far as the grand final is concerned. This is the 28th grand final we've done together as a continuous call team, having been brought together in 1987. My first grand final was down the road a bit at the Sydney Cricket Ground when Manly eclipsed Canberra in our first grand final. Given that I've had a couple of years off and another banishment relating to Super League, this is my 23rd grand final. I'm looking forward to this one as much as the first one in 1987, and this is a really good group. Train. These blokes should have been the feature act. The American rock band from San Francisco, Train. That's Pat Monahan doing vocals. Jimmy Stafford lead guitar.
Don't mention Jimmy Stafford.
Oh, that's a wrong Jimmy Stafford. What about that? The bloke having the same name as the lunatic Jimmy Stafford formerly with Parramatta Eels. This is their platinum. In fact, Piggy Riddell,
yes,
6 times platinum in the US of A.
Thought so.
Hey Soul Sister, If It's Love and Marry Me. And they've been high on the Billboard Hot 100 at 3, 34 and 34. The album has been certified gold as well. In April of 2012, Train released their 6th studio album titled California 37. The first single from the album, Drive By, reached number 10 on the Billboard Hot 100 and a top 10 in the UK and number 1 in Australia. They've sold 10 million albums and 30 million tracks worldwide. Train. And they are entertaining.
Late that night she got away. I chased her to the turnback and lost her where the music never plays. No, I rolled upon the stones, fell into the water. I love her till my judgment day. Like a sunrise made of white light. Everything was nothing as it seemed. I was shot down in cold blood by an angel in blue jeans. I hear voices calling all around. I keep falling down. I think my heart could pound right out of me. I see a million different ways to never leave this maze alive. I woke up in somebody's arms, strange and so familiar, where nothing could go wrong. Barely alive or nearly dead, somehow awake in my own bed. And there you are, like a highway, headed my way. Life is but a dream. I was shot down by your love, my angel in blue jeans.
Yeah, that's Train. Emails are plenty coming in. Lynn from Fiji says, listening from the Coral Coast, go the Bunnies. He's normally in Kellyville in Sydney. I think Slash just got run over by a train. Wasn't even a good lead up that. Good calling, says Dave. Well done. Thank you, Dave. World's best guitarist is Keith Richards from the Stones. You can't be the best if you're no longer here. No, they tell me that in that case, they judge this bloke be second behind the now deceased guitarist. And they say he's number 2. He's even in front of Keith Richards, Steve. That's what the experts tell me. Listening from Albuquerque, New Mexico. It's 2 a.m. We're here for the big balloon fiesta, visiting friends. Go the Doggies. From Christine, go the Rabbitohs. Peter, can't wait for the call. Christian and Peter normally in Beverly Hills, but they're in Sydney. Nice to have your company. Now, Robert, the property expert international from Sydney, listening all the way from Buenos Aires in Argentina. Lovely to have your company. Thank you. I'm in the North Lebanese mountains listening to you guys. Feels like I'm sitting at the rear veranda in George's Hall, says Joseph. Good on you, Joseph. Dawn says that was woeful. They should have slashed off the program. Train's great. Love all their songs. Yeah, they are great, aren't they? Have a great call, says Kenny. It's been a fantastic season. Thank you for doing what you've done. Guys, I hope I never hear the NRL say they've got no cash for juniors. That was a waste of money, Brian. I think you're probably right. I was at the grand final when South last won in 71, beaten my Dragons. I hope they can win tonight. All their supporters is stuck by them through the bad times. Have a great call, says Gary from Bundina. Thank you, mate. Sitting by the pool in Crete, in Greece, listening to the call. Go the Bunny, says Mark and Anne-Marie. Gary, why would they waste their money with Flash? I agree with you. Emails everywhere. Ray, number 2 is appropriate for Slash because that entertainment was, yes it was, Darren, it was pretty ordinary. Spent the last 5 years listening to your calls on a weekly basis while living in India, China and Hong Kong. Thanks for keeping me sane. Great win, the Pride. Yes, it was a great win by the Pride earlier, as we've already told you. And we'll see what happens through the course of this game. Now, that's train just about finished, and we're about to launch into the call here.
Ladies and gentlemen, please thank Californian band Grammy winners Train.
Yeah, well done. They are Grammy winners, and fantastic entertainment from Train. Wonderful. Bathurst 1,000 fans, the wait is over. Go and celebrate with Holden. This month, Holden is offering bonus registration, stamp duty and third-party insurance across the entire Commodore range. Plus, for a limited time, race off with an additional $1,000 factory bonus on every new Commodore. See your new Holden dealer today to celebrate the Bathurst 1,000. Well, not today, it's tonight. See them over the course of the long weekend or next week. It's a deal worth racing for. We take a break on the continuous call. Emails coming in left, right and centre. We appreciate all the input. Dave says, thank you, the boys, Ray. Great year. We'd be buggered without you. No, Manly, so go the Bunnies. He's on the Central Coast. Thank you for that. Other emails coming in from people in all sorts of places. Greetings from Washington. Nearly 4 o'clock in the morning. My friends and I are excited to listen to you guys. Go the Bunnies, says Rick, who's in Washington, D.C. Thank you, Craig, for your best as well. Shout out to the sea crew at Tropicana Open Cut Mine WA. We've got no radio on the machine, so thank God for your app. Can't wait for the call, says Cherie. And thank you for all year, says Cherie. Thank you very much for that. Well, that's wonderful, Cherie. We're looking after the miners. Matt, who's been a contributor to the program all year from Japan, where he's a farrier. I like the Doggies, but Junior, Kim and Faith are backing the Rabbitohs. All the best from Makoto in Japan. Great call. P.S. The Ark is on tonight. 3 Japanese horses with real good chances. Thanks for the year. Good on you, Matt, and thanks for listening to us right through the course of the year. Listening to you at home, which is across the road from where the Bulldogs number 2, Corey Thompson, played as a junior, Mount Gravatt East. Thank you for another great year. Look forward to 4BC taking you again next year. Thank you, Justine, or Justin, I should say, from South Australia, and to all the other people who are listening via the web right across the globe, including my mate Walkie. He's on that flight from Abu Dhabi to London, listening to us on the app there. Thank you, Greg, from China as well. Thank you, Glenn, a bit closer to home in Junee. Nice to have your company. And to all the other people who are sending us emails in significant numbers from right across the globe, we appreciate the fact that you're listening to us, like this one from Thailand. Greg Robinson, listening to you on the net. I'm back in the Bulldogs. Love the show. Good on you, Greg. And we're your link with home, of course, as we are for many, many people. And we appreciate all the input coming from you people. We've got Mark Riddell down on the sideline in the broadcast box with me, Daryl Broman. As I said, we launch into our 29th year in 2015, and we'll all be back. Rob Fulton back, myself, Mark Riddell, Daryl Broman, and hopefully joined by Brett Finch as well. And a couple of other surprises for you in the off-season. Looking forward to all of that, but most of all looking forward to this one, my 23rd Grand Final. The last one I did was 2010 when I went to the Commonwealth Games in New Delhi, and haven't been back since, but prevailed upon by the station owner John Singleton to call a Grand Final, and I hope I do a few more. I won't get to Frank Hyde's record of 33, but I hope to give 30 a nice old shake.
You're going off a bit early here because normally you reserve your statement till about...
Well, I'm going off early because I'm back.
Quarter to 10. You're going to consider your future and then you think about it. You're going to talk to your family.
There's no one left to talk about.
Talk to the kids.
Yeah.
Talk to the kids.
Well, let me say, I've spoken to the kids. They're with me today. Dan's overseas.
Let me give you 5 because you, my friend,
Great to see you, Goldie.
Let's have a group hug.
Come on, up here, Mark Levy staying in. Mark Levy's going to do some calling next year as well.
Don't pull the plug out here, anyone.
Yeah. Good day, boys. Group hug before
what a team we've got.
Sit down. Are you down there yet, Peggy Riddell, on the touchline?
Yeah, I'm down here, Ray. It is unbelievable down here at the moment. Look, I haven't experienced this for a long time. It's surreal. It's just a great atmosphere. I'll tell you what, it's still very, very humid down here at ground level. There's no breeze at all. It is just completely still. And look, you can hardly hear yourself think. It's phenomenal. I think, look, I'd love to get out there, but how good's it going to be for these players tonight?
Well done. And you bring the atmosphere into the lounge rooms, into the apps, into the iPhones, into the hotels, into the cars across Australia, across the world, in fact. Blokes buying opera tickets outside the Opera House in London listening to us. Whether you're on the land, in the kitchen, on the factory floor, or hard at it on a work site as well, you need a pair of boots that are tough and comfortable. The boots, of course, are Rossi. Rossi Boots have been making Australian boots to feed Aussie feet for more than 100 years. Rossi Boots, part of our sponsorship into the Grand Final. Fantastic family-owned company, and their quality work boots will help you work hard and keep you comfortable while you're doing it. Comfort, style, durability and safety, all backed by a 12-month warranty. There's a Rossi boot for every occasion, so go ahead, wear them out. For your nearest stockist, go to this website, Rossi Boots. That's ROSSI boots.com.au. Rossi Boots, work hard, play hard. Now, the national anthem will come from Simon Gleeson. Simon Gleeson will sing the national anthem. He's performing in Les Mis. Les Mis, Simon, and a magnificent voice, and he'll bring you the national anthem not too far away from now. The players haven't got out to the field. They're still clearing the staging for the performances that came a bit earlier, so we're about 5 minutes away from the official kick-off time, but I don't know whether they're having problems getting the staging away. No, they're not. It's coming apart nicely at the moment. They've got the lights out on the stadium so they can get rid of all that without too much trouble. And we'll have that fixed in a moment, and the players come out. They'll line up. As you've heard, the toss has been won by Canterbury. Curtis Landers tossed the coin, called by James Graham, and they will defend the kick-off. So Canterbury, Bankstown and South Sydney do battle. 43 years since they were into a grand final. I've got to say to you, Darryl, I was here quite early, and I've been talking to a lot of South Sydney fans out in the corridors. And some of them I know particularly well, and a couple in particular I thought, well, they'll absolutely be gutted if they're beaten. But they both said to me, and Shane Richardson to a certain extent said the same thing, he said that he's got the feeling the fans think they've won by getting here. The team has to now accommodate themselves, and obviously they won't be happy unless they win. But many of the South Sydney fans are just happy that they got to the grand final. Yeah. That's their grand final.
Yeah, well, the fans might be, but I'm sure the players aren't. I mean, the pressure of expectation on them, I think, is enormous for the players, and that's why I do think the Bulldogs can win this game. I just think they've got more experience there. But, you know, with regards to the Bunnies, I mean, if they win, I'll be first to congratulate them. They've had a fantastic season. There's a lot of reasons they want to win. Obviously, they haven't won the grand final in 43 years, and they've got a very talented group of players. Sam Burgess's last game for them, for at least for a while anyway. I think there's a big chance he'll come back to the NRL. But, you know, the emergence of some really good young players. Adam Reynolds has had a fantastic semi-final series. I love Luke Keary. I think he's a fantastic player. Alex Johnston, I think he scored 20 tries in 17 games. Dylan Walker, I expect both of them to be named in the Australian squad for the Four Nations coming up in the next month. They've got some really good players. And you throw into that Greg Inglis, you know, John Sutton, their captain. What a wonderful thing to be for him. He's a South Sydney junior, and it's been a long time since a South Sydney junior has captained a South Sydney side to a winning grand final. It'd just be sensational. But I just suspect the Bulldogs will come out, and I think they'll try and make this a real, you know, street fight. I think they'll get it in their face, and they'll be right into them from the start.
Anyway, we'll find out not too far from now. The emails continue to pour in. I've got people listening as I look up at the call screen here from across the globe as well. Saudi Arabia, Mohammed is there. Thank you. Normally in Australia, but over there at the moment working. In New York, savouring the call of the grand final, says, is that Joe Hockey? Yes, it is. We've got the treasurer, Joe Hockey. I'm in New York for meetings, but savouring your call of the grand final. Every Bears fan will be backing the Bunnies for this one. And, of course, Joe, member for North Sydney in the federal parliament, and a desperate Bears supporter as well. So treasurer. Thank you. We're honoured to have your company. We hope we get it right. Go the Bunnies. You're in a league of your own, says another emailer. Thank you very much, Adam. Appreciate that. Listening from Chichester in the UK with my son, Ollie. Go the Bunnies, says Andy in Chichester. Thank you, Andy. In Rome, says Jenny. Normally in Corlett, which is north of Newcastle. We're Para supporters. We don't care who wins. Great to see South Sydney back in the grand final. Jeff, listening with my iPod, tune-in app, Fort Worth, Texas. Love the commentary. Thank you for that. Ray, is David Morrow retiring? Yes, he is, unfortunately. Way too early, in my opinion. But he may be heard elsewhere, and I hope he is, because he's an outstanding commentator, my colleague from the ABC, David Morrow. Shout out to Alex, Sylvain, Claudie and Creedy in Switzerland. Have a great call. Thanks for the year, says Creedy, who's in Switzerland. And Sam says, I'm a die-hard Doggy supporter. Lucky to listen to you guys on the app. I'm in New Orleans as well. Thank you, Sam. And other emailers pouring in from Finland. Can you do a Finnish accent? I don't know that you can, big man. You do most of the others.
You ready? Good. Welcome to Finland.
That's pretty close. Simon Gleeson, the lead actor in the new musical Les Mis, will perform the national anthem, as I told you. From Hanoi, Vietnam, Go the Bunny, says Richard. Thank you. Listening in the early hours of the morning from Jamaica, says Bruce. Oh, gee. And this is the best one, apart from on top of that.
Joe Hockey one.
No. Brian Walsh from Foxtel. I'm in the middle of the Irish Sea after an awesome tour of beautiful Ireland. Been waiting 43 years for this moment. Thanks for allowing me to listen to the call. Go the Bunnies, and that's Rudy Valley.
Rudy Valley was a singer, wasn't he?
No, that's Rudy Valley. Okay.
Okay, I'm with you. I don't know.
What's happening here now?
Well, they've got drums and they've got a guitarist.
Well, I'm tipping we won't get off here till about 7:45.
Well, it's a bit later. I'm not sure who this is. Anyway, that's what we're all about. Information.
I'll just check my little running sheet here. This might be an addition. Mark Riddell might have some information for me. What's happening here, Piggy, down on the touchline?
Yeah, we've got Sarah McLeod from the Super Jesus. She's performing there in the little nice black number with the guitar in the middle, Ray. So that's who's performing at the moment.
Was she on your list?
I didn't check a list. I just know who she is, yeah. So I know the band.
Where's she from? Super Jesus?
Super Jesus, the band, yeah.
Oh, magnificent.
She's an Australian.
Yeah. How do you know so much about this, Piggy?
She's a good sort.
Ill-spent youth, I'm tipping. Getting those nights.
Got the leathers on too.
Yeah, the leathers, yeah, the one-piece leather outfit.
Yeah.
Jumpsuit.
Listen, leave the fashion to someone else, all right? I'll see you later.
Geez, it's good to have him on board. He knows his stuff.
Oh, he knows computers and young things.
He does. He does.
We're gone. We're gone. We're from another era.
No idea. Well, this is it. They might have been just here for the game, and because Slash was so bad, they've just decided to go out and do something. You with me?
Not quite, but you could be right, I suppose. My name is Tony. I'm 10, currently in USA, Hollywood, trying to find a program channel, but I found you. Thank God for your coverage, says Tony. Well, Tony, it's lovely to have your company as well. And to all the other people listening across the globe, thank you so much. Listening in an oil rig from the North Sea near Norway. An oil rig. San Diego, says Pete. Oh, this is another great one. Gaz, online from Inner Mongolia. That's a toss-up.
I've never been to it.
No,
what's Outer Mongolia
well,
like?
It's on the outside of Inner Mongolia, I'm tipping. I think blokes are just taking advantage of my naivety now. They're just saying anything.
Look, if anyone's out there can think of somewhere you want to be, just give us an email, 2gb.com.
Joseph's in Malta, leaving for the airport in 40 minutes. I went for a Slash when Slash was on. Yeah, I thought about doing that myself, Tony. Thank you, Daniel, for your email.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Pro Summons Trophy is in the house, and please thank the Super Jesus, Sarah McLeod, and the Drummer Queens.
Beautiful.
Tonight.
You said the Drummer Queens or Drama Queens?
No. Didn't mention us. It was the Drummer Queens. Let's have a listen to Steve.
When the arrival of players was signalled by the...
This is the great Kenny Sutcliffe, not Steve.
The bell's going to be rung.
Here we go.
Donated by the 97-year-old South legend Albert Cliff to an auction to raise money for the club's re-entry into the competition, and was brought by Russell Crowe. Albert and Russell rang the bell together when Souths re-entered the competition in 2002, and Russell said then it would be rung again and wouldn't be rung again until his beloved team played in a grand final. Tonight is that night. Joining me are the game's two legends, Canterbury's Les Johns and South Sydney's Bobby McCarthy, who played when these teams last met in the grand final in 1967. Spud Carroll is going to hand the bell over. The NRL has asked these legends to be a part of this historic moment to welcome the 2014 Telstra Premiership Grand Final teams to the field. Bobby, it's your honour. Ring the bell.
Oh, what a piece of history. And people mightn't know the story. Mr. Cliff donated it, and that was the bell used from the start of the competition for half-time, full-time, and purchased by Russell Crowe for a large amount of money, and has been kept by the club. And there are two greats of the game, Bobby McCarthy and one of the greatest fullbacks ever to play the game. I used to love watching this bloke play for Canterbury, Les Johns. Couldn't he tackle?
Yeah,
covering tackles.
You know, Albert Clift, I think, is the uncle of Malcolm Clift, the former Bulldogs coach, believe it or not. Isn't there some synergy there? South Sydney and Canterbury together. This is a great song. Sing along, Ray. Glory, glory to South Sydney.
I'd appreciate it if you didn't.
Glory, glory to... Just sing along.
Can I tell you something?
What?
Des Hasler will love all this. The Canterbury supporters will be saying, oh, hang on. What's all this about? What about us? Des will love this. His last words will be saying, they all hate us.
Well, there they come. They're on their way out. The Bunnies coming out first.
Let's go through that South Sydney side for you. Greg Hill is a fullback. Alex Johnston on one wing. Lottie Takiri on the other. Dylan Walker in the centres with Kiri Avava. Luke Keary is the 5'8". Adam Reynolds the halfback. George Burgess and Dave Tyrrell in the front row. Apasai Coruscant, who's going to Penrith, of course, only playing his 14th first-grade game tonight. Ben Teo, John Sutton, Sam Burgess. And on the bench, Jason Clark, Carl Turner, Chris McQueen and Tom Burgess. The coach, of course, is Michael Maguire. So South Sydney come out and go to the southern end of the ground. Interesting that in these games, we don't see the warm-ups. And I love the fact we don't see the warm-ups. I know it's been the subject of much discussion.
Well, to be honest, I don't like seeing the warm-up. I think it takes away from the introduction of the players when they come on the field. I'd prefer they did it inside or out the back or something, and they've got rooms big enough to warm up here at ANZ Stadium, so I suppose that's the reason they don't do it. Plus, they've got the pre-match entertainment, etc. So the Bunnies are out there. Look at this, the Dogs, they're going to leave them wait for a while.
Yes, the Dogs leave them out there, and this will be all part of what Desi's got in store. And basically, here's Des still in the room. He's got no intention, and they'd be hearing that in there. And Des would be saying, you see, boys, it's us against the world. It's us 17 against every one of those people out there, despite the fact that more than half the crowd are Canterbury supporters, extending from the northeastern corner all the way around right in front of us, down to the southwestern corner, and some spattering of blue and white flags in other parts of the ground. She's chock-a-block. You won't fit another man, woman or child in here tonight. And the posts are illuminated. And still, South Sydney have been out here for 5 minutes, lined up between the 40 and the 30 for the national anthem, but no sign of Canterbury. And Desi is just biding his time. He's been there before. He knows what it takes. He knows what to do.
Look at those pictures, Ray. It's gone off the screen now, but pictures from a helicopter above the ground. It's a magnificent sight at night time when it's full, isn't it? ANZ Stadium, just fantastic.
Just repeating, Isaac Luke, Michael Ennis, both out as you know. Apasai Coruscant in 21, in for Isaac. And Moses Mbai in jumper number 19, coming in for his skipper, Michael Ennis. And appropriately enough, I mean, because it's their first grand final in 43 years, much attention played at South Sydney, the ringing of the bell. I know Canterbury fans will be, depending on the result, if they get beaten, they'll be bluing about that and say that was an unfair advantage. But I can assure you that it's just the entree before the main course that Des Hasler would have ordered. He would just love it. That yes, it's all about them, and still they're inside and they're embracing each other, the players at the moment. No sign of them coming out. So kick-off is already about 8 minutes late, and Canterbury are in no hurry to leave the rooms.
Yeah.
No hurry at all.
He probably locked the door, Des, so don't worry about those blokes. We'll do what we want to do here. Exactly what he's doing. This game was supposed to kick off, I think, at 7:24. Well, it's nearly 7:30 now.
They're about to leave the room and come to the playing service. Little chorus out there doing some drills, and they'd lined up for the national anthem, but the trainers have said, listen, let's get involved in doing some other stuff here. And out come the Bulldogs. Sam Perrott, the fullback, Corey Thompson on one wing, Mitch Brown on the other, Josh Morris and Tim Laffey in the centre, Josh Reynolds the 5'8", Trent Hodkinson is the co-captain with James Graham, Aidan Tolman and James in the front row, Moses Mbai the hooker, Josh Jackson, Tony Williams, Greg Eastwood in the back row. On the bench, Tim Brown, Dale Finucane, David Clemmer, Frank Pritchard, coach Des Hasler. Out they come, and they go straight to the northern end. They defend the northern end, southern end being defended by South Sydney. Moses Mbai. What a game for this young fella. Number 19 on his back, Josh Reynolds. Made for this type of football, like he was made for Origin. Wasn't part of the junior elite structure. Wasn't good enough, he told me. We sat down and had a long chat after Origin. He gets nervous, not about playing, he gets nervous about not playing. When he was suspended, he hated it. Yeah. He lived to play football. And he's gesticulating to the crowd at the northern end saying, come on, give us some.
Well, you look at the Bulldogs, and I mean, their strength is clearly their forwards, but then you look at their backline, they've got 3 current New South Wales players in their backline.
And Laffey's in form, best career.
Player. He's a great player. This will be a good game.
It will be. It'll be a corker. Kiri Avoa with a job on his hands.
Please welcome from Rabbitohs, Simon Gleeson.
Now that's how you sing the national anthem. What a voice from Les Mis.
Ladies and gentlemen, please thank Simon Gleeson from Les Miserables, as seen by over 65 million people worldwide in over 42 countries. And now, thanks to Telstra, tonight's match ball is being proudly delivered by James Horrigan. Would you please give James a massive round of applause? Here he is, ladies and gentlemen. All thanks to Telstra, James Horrigan, delivering the match ball for tonight's Telstra Premiership Grand Final. Shane Hayne winning his 4th Premiership decided tonight. Congratulations to Jared Sutton, his first. And again, let's hear it for the young man delivering the ball. All thanks to Telstra, James Horrigan. And touchdowns tonight for the 2014 Grand Final, Steve Carroll and Jason Walsh. The big arena crews, Lynn Sunwood and Wood Gillis.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, fasten the seatbelt for the Premiership decider in season 2014. The continuous call team bring you their 28th Grand Final. I bring you my 23rd. And South Sydney return after a 43-year hiatus. Canterbury defend the southern end, actually. Northern end defended by South Sydney. And the ball will be kicked off by Canterbury Bankstown through Laffey. And the ball goes deep and it's taken. 5 out from the goal line, and Burgess will bring the ball back and put down on the tackle now. 15 metres out from his own goal line. He got hit high by Graham, gets up, Sam Burgess comes away on the outside. Straight and hard they go, South Sydney. 20 metres out from their own goal line, centre field. The tacklers there were Jackson and also Graham, and from acting half, the ball comes away on the outside. South Sydney now, almost to the 30. Good solid set of 6 so far in the opening exchanges. They play the ball back. Coruscant goes to the blind side, held on the tackle on the far side of the field, and one of the Burgess boys with a shot of his mum's comes up on the screen. They played 8 metres short of halfway. Now Canterbury moving up rather quickly. The ball comes back on the outside and put down on the tackle now. Look like Dave Tyrrell. He'll play the ball back 45 metres out from the goal line. The acting half is there. The ball back to Reynolds. The little halfback kicks downfield. Corey Thompson will take it. He'll bring the ball 10 from his own line. First touch for Canterbury. So a solid start for South Sydney and Canterbury. Can they get through the first set of 6? 11 out from their own goal line. They'll play the ball back. Laffey comes forward now at the defence. Held on the tackle and driven back. And good South Sydney defence. They drag him back almost to the 20. He'll play the ball back now. 21 out from the goal line. The ball comes on the outside of Jackson. He goes straight and hard. Josh Jackson for Canterbury. He's lost it out the back. Dived on by South Sydney. They've come up with the ball here. 25 out from the goal line. Coruscant gets it. The ball comes to Burgess. He takes them on. He's put down on the tackle. Sam Burgess. 16 away from the goal line, so a mistake by Canterbury. They'll play the ball back. Coruscant comes to the right-hand side. Reynolds. Dummies. The ball back on the inside now. Walker with it. Beat one. He stands on the tackle. Tried to unload. He does now. Comes out the back, but the defence is good. Eastwood this time. All over the South Sydney player. Plays the ball back. Comes back to Tyrrell. He goes hard at Graham and Tolman. He's put down on the tackle, Dave Tyrrell. 5 out from the Canterbury line, just off centre field. Coruscant. Dummies to the outside. Comes back away. The pass on the outside now, almost through the tackle, but dropped down on the far side. The centre three-quarter, Kiri Alvara. He plays the ball back 2 out from the goal line now. The ball comes back the other side. In fact, Sutton was it. The ball comes back. Reynolds, little kick into the in-goal area, but well done by Williams. He read it well, Tony Williams. He came up with the ball for Canterbury. 5 out. He's lost the ball and they play the ball. A brain explosion by the big bloke.
It's been a shocking start for the Bulldogs. He's got up to try and play the ball there and just didn't even get his foot on it. And previous to that, Josh Jackson, he dropped the ball. Now, there's a bit of concern here for Sam Burgess. He's got a big welt under his right eye here. It was the very first tackle of the game because he went straight to the trainer to say, look, what's happened here? He's playing on, but what a bad mistake from Tony Williams, right in the middle of the paddock, 10 metres out from the Bulldogs line.
Let me assure you, he's got 3 of those in him every game. Sometimes 4, sometimes 5. A brain explosion. Mark Riddell's on the touchline.
Yeah, Ray, I think Sam Burgess has got a fractured cheekbone. Now, I know I'm calling it early, but as Big Man said, they went straight to the trainers. Trainers were frantic, running to the sideline. We'll see what comes of it.
Here's the ball back to the centre three-quarter, Dylan Walker. Turn 20. Blocked it out the back, Reynolds. Reynolds to the line, 10 metres out. He turned 20 last Saturday week. They'll play the ball. Hodkinson there. The acting half. Coruscant sends the ball away. Kiri on the outside of the front rower. Georgie Burgess. He's dragging defenders with him. He's put down millimetres short of the goal line. All off a Tony Williams error here. Stupidity in the extreme. Coruscant sends the ball away. Burgess to run around. Back to Reynolds. Then Kiri. They've got an overlap. The ball goes away on the outside. They come back, but the winger is tackled on the far side of the field. He's held up there. Alex Johnston. They play it. Great defence. Sliding defence by Canterbury. Now South Sydney 2 metres out from the goal line. The tackle affected. Moses Mbai, Tolman and Graham there. They played a metre away from the goal line now. 4th tackle. The ball comes out the back to Kiri. He turns it back on the inside to Burgess. Big George goes at them. Great tackle, James Graham. He'll put him down 2 out from the goal line. Tolman over the top again with Moses Mbai. The ball on the 5th tackle comes back. Reynolds over the top. It's coming down near the goal line. Plucked out of the air by Josh Morris, and then he got back into the field of play by millimetres. They did very, very well, Canterbury.
They did brilliantly then. Josh Morris finished it off with a great take in his own in-goal area. Somehow he got out. The defence of South is just punishing at the moment, but I've got to say the Bulldogs' defence to keep Alex Johnston out was remarkable. He was going to score. 3 of them got there.
Well, I was about to acclaim him as a try scorer when they got there. Now Graham, they played the ball back. Here's Williams. He's got a bit to make up here, this big bloke. By gee, he can make a mistake. Plays it this time, just dumb play. Eastwood comes outside the 30. Canterbury have done well. Up to the 40 through Greg Eastwood. We've had 5 minutes of play, no score on the board here in the grand final. They play the ball back now, Canterbury. It comes back to Josh Reynolds inside the 40, kicks to Johnston, takes it beautifully on the half volley, brings it back to the 40. Oh, great tackle. I think it's Jackson. It is. 11 short of halfway. Mark Riddell's on the touchline.
Yeah, the Bulldogs have got to do better than that on the last play. As we see the South Sydney side carry the ball, they've got to get better at last tackle options. We know Trent Hodkinson, he's got that left knee injury. I'm not sure how much kicking he'll do tonight.
Here's Burgess. Well, we saw then that it was Josh Reynolds who kicked. That's big Georgie Burgess, put down 45 out from the goal line, plays the ball back, and it was by the other front rower this time, and it was Aidan Tolman as they bring the ball towards the 30. South Sydney. Reynolds made the tackle. Coruscant from acting half goes. Reynolds was almost offside, I thought, as the tackle came from Jackson. Fifth tackle, 28. It's been all South Sydney, the opening 5, no score. Keary, out the back it comes to Reynolds. Reynolds kicks. Reynolds was a rash. Leave it, leave it, leave it. Now the ball's coming down in the field of play. Oh, Perrott did beautifully well. Takes it. Gets away from 1, 2, comes at the defence and held up in the tackle. He's lost it out the back, came back to South Sydney. They're on the attack. They must score. Lottie Dakiri near the line. He's over. Try. Lottie Dakiri off a mistake by Perrott. Let's have a listen. We have a 0 tackle. I have a try. He's confirming that contest. Okay. He wants to confirm the contest. It was Perrott who took it and then lost it backwards. It was flung away as soon as he lost it. Takiri had a bit of work to do but stretched out, and for mine it's a try depending on what happened in the lead up with Perrott. Let's watch the replay. Perrott's there. Was it a strip? The ball is there. It's a solid tackle. Oh, it's a head high tackle. It won't be a try.
Be no try. He's hit him in the head.
And it's the halfback. It's Adam Reynolds.
Yep.
It'll be no try for an act of foul play. Oh dear, oh dear. He'll be on report, but he's almost taken the bloke's head off. Now, look at Great. He's going over.
He's going to get 3 weeks for that, but we won't get any benefit. So can we have some benefit for that?
He will check everything, James.
Yeah, I'm not talking about the try. I'm talking about the swinging arm.
That's what he will check everything.
Yeah, but
he is checking
going to tell you to send him?
He will check everything, mate. If he believes it's a penalty, he will do so. All right, thanks, mate.
That's James Graham. What are they going to do, he said? Will he send him? It'll be no try. It can't be a try for an act of foul play. So South Sydney won't be there. Here it is coming up on the screen now for the video referee's decision. There'll be no try, and there'll be a penalty. Had to be. South Sydney fans incensed, but they have no right to be incensed. It was an act of foul play by their halfback, Adam Reynolds, attacking the head of an opponent who dislodged the football, and that led to the try.
It's a valid argument, you know, from James Graham. They get absolutely no benefit. Look, here they're showing the replay of the very first tackle in the game. It was a clash of heads, believe it or not, between the two pommies, James Graham and also Sam Burgess. I agree with Piggy. I think Burgess has done some real damage here.
Anyway, the ball finds touch 31 metres out as Jackson's driven back on the tackle. They'll play the ball back, so South Sydney denied a try for an act of foul play, and legitimately so. The video referees have got it spot on right. The ball played back by Canterbury. They've been down the centre of the field. They're sleazily making mistakes, but still 0-all the score. Greg Eastwood goes to the line. He's playing well as he did last week. The video referees, Bernard Sutton and Luke Phillips, made the decision. They'll send the ball back away. Comes on the outside to Graham. Graham goes straight and hard. And Darryl's right. There was a graphic illustration of the head clash between Graham and Sam Burgess, and we think he's got a fractured cheekbone. The ball comes to Tolman, stutters into the defence. This is their best attacking position so far, and we've had 7.5 minutes of play. They'll play the ball back Canterbury from 22 metres out. Moses Mbai. The kick comes now. Oh, it's gone back to Alex Johnson. It bounced up nicely for him. It came from the halfback, from the 5'8", Josh Reynolds. But it wasn't a well-placed kick, but they pinned him down a metre out from the goal line. Mark Riddell, he's down on the touchline.
Yeah, but it was a little bit better, Ray. They've got the South Sydney side now coming off their own line. They're going to need to turn these big bunnies forwards around, make them bring the ball off their own line. They've done well there, the Bulldogs.
Well, that's Inglis's first touch that I can recollect. He's brought the ball outside the 20 up towards the 30. And now they're put down. They're getting the wingers and fullback involved. And they're put down. I think that's Johnson playing the ball. Comes away on the outside. In fact, it was a centre three-quarter, I think you'll find. And that's Kiri Avava. The ball goes down to Corey Thompson and Perrott. It bounced away from both of them, then back to Perrott. Perrott attacks the football now. Comes to the 20. The defence is there. Tyrrell's there. So too is Ben Teo. They bring him down and he'll play the ball back. And Burgess was the other man there. That's George. They'll play the ball back. They come through Morris outside the 20. 25 metres out from the goal line. No score on the board here after 8 minutes of play in the 2014 Grand Final. Greg Eastwood comes outside the 30. He's put down on the tackle 31 metres out from his own line. 15 in from touch on this western side of the field. No score on the board. Moses Mbai from acting half has to scurry because of the bad play the ball by Eastwood. 10 metres short of halfway. He'll play the ball back. It's the fourth tackle again. The ball comes away on the outside. Back to Graham. Graham straight through them. Tries to get the ball back on the inside. Good run by Graham. He's up to the halfway and put down. He'll play the ball back. The acting half is there. Now back again. He's doing all the kicking, Josh Reynolds. That's a good kick. It's gone down the touchline and finds touch. So there are doubts about the little halfback's leg. The co-captain, Trent Hodkinson, he's being isolated from doing the kicking. And as a result, the scrum will pack down 10 metres out from the South Sydney line. South Sydney lose, South Sydney feed. And they have the ball coming their way now, South Sydney. 20 metres in from touch. Well, Darryl, it's been a frenetic start, and South Sydney will be ruining the fact that it's still 0-0 despite them having the better field position. Yeah, they're defending really well, though, South Sydney. Look, they went nowhere in that set of 6 to Bulldogs, but on the back of last tackle kick, it was a really good kick from Josh Reynolds. It probably made about 35 metres, went into touch. Now South again have got to work it out from their own 10-metre zone. Bulldogs desperate for a mistake here from the Bunnies. So here it is with South Sydney. 15 out from their own line, in possession. Lottie Takiri played it sloppily. Carousel was taken at acting half. Now Inglis goes to acting half. The ball comes away on the outside of Sam Burgess. Good run by the big man. He's put down. 28 out from his own line. Carousel again. Sent the ball back. Looks like Teo stepping neatly. He's put down on the tackle 10 metres short of the halfway line. 20 in from touch. Coruscant from dummy half goes to Dylan Walker. He's over on the outside. Oh, he's almost away when he's put down on the tackle. He wasn't held. He got up and went again. Well, Brown let him go. Then the ball to Reynolds. Short ball away and put down on the tackle is George Burgess now. Fifth tackle. Out the back it comes. Reynolds are going to run it. He feigns to kick. No, he did well, Corey Thompson. He dropped back to cover the kick and took the ball and the tackle. 15 out from his own line. Oh, he should have run the ball then, Adam Reynolds. Really, that was a poor kick. It went straight into the lap of Corey Thompson, but they had about a 4-on-2 then because Thompson had dropped back. He made a blue then, Reynolds. They should have run it. Well, here's the ball back away with Canterbury Bankstown now. Put down on the tackle. They get up and play the ball back. The acting half is there. Moses Mbai. They're going to swing it out wide to Williams. Williams goes at the defence. He's almost over the top of Reynolds. He drags him another 5 minutes. Good run. Going well. He made ground towards halfway. Got about 20 metres away from where he started this time. He'll play back to Hodkinson. Then the ball back to Tolman. Tolman stutters at the defence and put down 45 metres out from the south line. Fifth tackle. They'll play it back to Moses Mbai. Then the ball back away to Reynolds. He kicks downfield. And he's been knocked over after he kicked the ball, but nothing happened. Tyrrell's the player in question, I think you'll find, but the referee who was on the spot said, no, it's okay. Big tackle by Canterbury as South Sydney are driven back inside the 20. 20 in from touch on the far side of the field. They'll play the ball back now. Comes back away and held on the tackle. They'll play the ball back, South Sydney. They're about 25 out their own goal line. Getting to his feet now, that's John Sutton, I think you'll find in jumper number 12. It is Sutton. He's put down the tackle. Now they'll play the ball back 12 metres short of halfway. Sutton playing on the left-hand side. They go to Keary. Keary takes them on, but he's held by Tim Laffey. Can't get the ball away and driven back in Laffey and Reynolds. And he's held now 9 metres short of halfway. He'll play the ball back again for South Sydney. No score on the board as the ball comes back away to Burgess. That's George. He's put down by Eastwood, 5 short of halfway. Plays it again, fifth tackle. Back it goes to Reynolds. A low trajectory kick which is going to find Corey Thompson flying at the ball. He picks it up on the bounce and put down 11 short of halfway. He'll play the ball back for Canterbury. No score on the board in the 2014 Grand Final after 12 minutes of play. They have the ball, Canterbury, 5 short of halfway, and Mark Riddell is on the touchline.
Yeah, I've got to say, Ray, these Bulldogs side, they've done really well so far. They've been under the pump for pretty much all of the first 12 or 13 minutes of this game. No points conceded. The longer this game goes at 0-0, the more they're in this game tonight.
Graham, he threw a dummy after taking a pass wide. Now the ball came back away. Hodkinson, good hands away to Williams. Williams is down the touchline. Oh, he threw a ball, Williams, without looking. Strike me pink. I'll keep count. 1 down here, that's 2. He's got about 4 more chances, Tony Williams. He's as big He can hold a bullock out to do a once McCall it, and he fair dinkum just turns it up every time he runs to the line. I'm sorry, I'm over Tony Williams. I'm completely over him.
He's probably a bit, well, look, I'm going to back him up a little bit. He's a bit unlucky here because I think he thought Josh Morris was going to start on the outside, but Morris cut back on the inside. I think he did take his eye off it though, Tony Williams. He still threw the pass, but there is 2 mistakes from him already. We've only had 12 minutes.
Well, and they've been crucial errors.
Yeah, look, he's running the ball hard though. I'll give him that. Yeah. If he continues to do that, tacks it under his arm, that's what he should be doing. Just take it up there, make some metres. No ball playing.
No, he's not playing half-back.
You can look, I've got the camera here on Burgess. You can tell he is severely affected by this. He's still playing well and he's having a dig, but he's in a bit of trouble, Sam Burgess.
Here's the ball. Away from Inglis, away on the outside. Oh, big tackle.
Eastwood again. What a start to the game he's had.
And it was on the front rower. Tyrrell, unbelievable. Dave Tyrrell putting the broad of his back. And now on the far side of the field, South Sydney try to make ground, and they can't as they put down the tackle again through the centre. And this time it was Kiri Avava. He's put down. They're 11 short of halfway. They'll play the ball back. The acting half is there, Kiri. The ball comes on the outside to Reynolds. Back on the inside to Georgie Burgess, and George is dragging defenders with him. Mbaye and also Graham there. He plays the ball right on halfway. Coruscant, the acting half of South Sydney. Here's Sam Burgess. Oh, scything tackle. Is that Eastwood again?
Sure is.
Unbelievable tackle from 40 metres out. The kick came from Reynolds. This time it's Adam Reynolds putting it high. Oh, the ball's been contested. It came away from a South Sydney player back to a Canterbury player. I thought the Canterbury player was taken out mid-air myself. I think it's Josh Jackson who's down. But I'm sure Sam Perrott was contesting the kick, and a South Sydney player came through and took him out when he was attempting to take that. Yeah, you can't tackle mid-air. Let's have a look. Here he is.
Luke Yeah, no, it was okay. He's having a crack at the ball there, Luke Keary. Originally, I thought he only had eyes for Perrott, but in the end, it was okay. It went back to Jackson, who saved the day. They're blowing up here, the Bulldogs supporters. There might have been a high hit on Jackson as well. No, they're going to play on.
Down the touchline, Mark Riddell.
Yeah, it's a light touch there on Josh Jackson's chin. But I was happy with that one. I thought Keary went through, made a good play at the ball for the Bunnies.
No, you're right, both spot on. Both spot on. I was wrong. You were right, and so was the referee. Here's the ball coming blindside to Tony Williams. At the defence now. Oh, he thought about passing it out the back. They'll play it now. We've had 15 minutes of play, 0-all the score. Comes back away. Tolman. I reckon every Canterbury supporter and Des Hasler's heart would be in their mouth every time he touches the ball. He can either score a try or drop it, or throw a pass that shouldn't be thrown. And now the ball back on the inside, and Canterbury succumbing to solid defence here. Sam Perrott was put down. Moses Mbaye got the ball. James Graham. James Graham's kick from outside the 40. He's going to find touch.
Nearly a 40-20.
There's nothing he can't do, this fella. There's nothing he can't do. The scrum will pack 22 metres out. He was outside the 40 anyway, but it was horribly close to a pin-perfect kick. He just kicked it, did a left-hand turn about 5 metres in from touch into touch, and the scrum will pack down. I'll tell you what, they all need a breather. It's been played at a frenetic pace here. No score on the board. No score after almost 16 minutes of play in the 2014 Grand Final.
Yeah, and they need a decent kick there because that was a really poor set from the Bulldogs. They got smashed by the Bunnies here. Look, the Bunnies defensively in the last month or so have been absolutely sensational, and there was another example of it here. The Bulldogs are defending well as well, but you're just getting the feeling the Bunnies have got more to throw at the Bulldogs.
They win the scrum now. It comes back away to Burgess, and he's put down the tackle, Georgie. He'll play the ball back just inside his own 30. Curacao comes blindside. Tio's on this side, the left-hand side, but he's taken well. Hodkinson, great defence by the little halfback. Gee, can tackle. Here's the ball. Curacao. Back on the outside it comes to Burgess. That's Sam. He's held on the tackle now. George doing plenty of work as well as Tolman made the tackle with Moses Mbaye. The ball comes out the back. Straight and hard they go. Tom Burgess is on. We've got 3 Burgess to contend with now. Tom Burgess comes on after 17 minutes of play. The ball out the back now. Coruscant straight through. Oh, was it Keary? He was almost through the gap there. He threw a dummy, not fallen for. Now the ball came to Reynolds on the 5th tackle. He puts it up and he's tackled by Reynolds as he does kick it. Perrott's got it covered. Now it's rebounded away from Perrott's in the in-goal area, and it's forced by Brown. Knock on South changeover. Knock on South changeover. It'll come back as a result, and the ball will come back to Canterbury 10 metres out from their own line. So we have 23 and a half to go in this first half, and 0-all the score. Rabbitohs Bulldogs. Mark Riddell's on the touchline at ANZ Stadium.
Yeah, Josh Reynolds then just putting some huge kick pressure on Adam Reynolds and making a play at him, forcing him to kick. And we spoke about it earlier pre-game. He's just going to harass the South Sydney players all night.
Dave Tyrrell's come off, by the way. He's on the bike and coming onto the field, Tom Burgess. So we've got Tom on, George on, and Sam on. They play the ball back. Moses Mbai, the acting half. Reynolds back on the inside. Like Laffey put down on the tackle. Now it's Ronnis Jackson. He plays it quickly. From acting half they go. Reynolds. The ball back away. Oh, there's a high tackle there, I thought, and it is a penalty. It's a penalty. It came from one of the Burgess boys. And Keary.
It was actually George.
Was Georgie?
Yep.
Okay, so Georgie's been out there from the start. Tom joins him now. Yeah, they got. Oh, it wasn't vicious, Darryl, just sloppy.
Probably deserved a penalty, that's all you need. But I'll tell you the difference here at the moment. The Bulldogs haven't been able to put an attacking kick in yet, whereas Souths have put a heap of them up. They haven't got a result yet, but if they keep getting the opportunities, it's only a matter of time before they do.
Laffey, they find touch 30 metres out. He gave it to Tolman. Tolman's 21 metres out. The acting half is there, Moses Mbai. Mbai, they play it slowly. The ball comes on the outside of James Graham. He goes up the defence. He's 15 out. This is their best opportunity. Their best opportunity so far after 18 minutes. Moses Mbai, Hodkinson. Oh, Williams. That's number 3. That's number 3. Tony Williams put it down as cold as a spud. I tell you what, if Bob Fulton was coaching, the Fulton hook would just about be out by now.
Well, that was... He thought he was running a decoy, but you've got to be aware on every occasion. I mean, he's such a big bloke and he's so damaged, he's just got to get his mind on the job.
Here's Sutton. He goes MIA. That's his third mistake after 18 minutes. And they've been crucial. Losing the ball near his own goal line. Surrendering possession back the other end of the field, and then their best attacking opportunity in 18 minutes, he puts it down. Now the ball back with South Sydney. They'll play the ball back now. It's the third tackle. Penalty. Hello. Josh Jackson. Hand on the football. And the tide and the pendulum starts to swing the other way now. South Sydney's way. All on the back of Tony Williams. I don't want to lay the blame at the feet of one bloke, but oh, geez, a frustrating player if you're a Canterbury supporter. Absolutely and utterly frustrating.
Well, they need a bit of luck here, the Dogs, because they are really struggling now. They've had hardly any ball, and now here come the Bunnies.
And Tom Burgess carts it forward now, dragging defenders with him big time. He's put down. He's 18 out from the goal line. He'll play the ball back. Curacao sends it away on the outside to Keary. Then John Sutton with a left foot step and almost through. He'll play the ball back. The acting half, Keary goes blindside. Numbers, Johnston, he'll score. Great try. Quick hands away on the left-hand side. Beautiful, he worked. The ball came away. Johnston involved with Kiri Avava, and the try has been scored. The Rabbitohs lead by 4-0, and Alex Johnston was try scorer, but it came on the back of a mistake by Tony Williams at the other end of the field.
Absolutely it did, but you know what, that's almost a carbon copy of what they did last week against the Roosters to score their first try. It was Luke Keary. He had a look on the blind side. He realised it was a 3-on-2 if he got out wide enough from dummy half, and he did it. He threw it to Avaha. He had Johnston on the outside. He drew his man, gave it to Johnston, and he doesn't miss opportunities like that. He's a quality finisher, this kid. 21 tries in his 18th game, and who's to say he won't score more in this game?
Well, I've got to pay tribute to the other two as well. Kiri Avava and also young Luke Keary. Darryl said exactly what happened. He read it magnificently on the short side. They had a 3-on-2, and the defender, Corey Thompson, couldn't cover for the two plays he had to mark, being Avava and Alex Johnston. And Alex Johnston scores yet another try to make it 4-0. And now the kick will come from the touchline on the eastern side of ANZ Stadium.
I'm just looking at Johnston as he goes back. I think he should be in the Australian side. I think he's done enough this year to be the winger in the Australian side. I just love the way he plays. He doesn't make mistakes. He's a really good player.
Here's the kick to come from Adam Reynolds over on the touchline. Bends over, straightens, right boot guides it, heading towards the uprights at the southern end. Waved away, 4-0. 4-0. South Sydney over Canterbury. Mark Riddell's on the touchline.
Yeah, I thought that was amazing from Luke Keary then. his body position, looking like he was going to the open, ducks down the short side, very nice. Last week I interviewed Luke Keary and he spoke about 16 weeks ago or so with his arm in a sling, not playing footy at all. Now he's on the biggest stage in the NRL career. That was outstanding from the young 5'8".
Kick-off about to come from Tim Laffey, centre of the halfway line. So South Sydney draw first blood. Left boot strikes it from Laffey. It's going deep. They're going to take it through Johnston, the try scorer. And it comes away to Burgess. He winds up and he's put down on the tackle now. That'll be George, I'd suspect, over on that side of the field, and they'll play the ball back, the acting half.
George has got the sort of reddish boots on and Tommy's got the white boots on. It's the only way I can pick them apart.
Yes, exactly, and it was, as I suggested, George with those reddish boots on. And here's Tom shattering Reynolds over on this side of the field as the ball comes back away with South Sydney, 25 metres out. Williams made the tackle, comes back away Coruscant. Then the ball away on the outside to Burgess. He's put down on the tackle now. And in the white boots getting up is Tom Burgess. It's played away. Keary back on the inside to Sutton. Oh, he's rattled up in a tackle there. And that's Eastwood again, I think. Geez, doing some defence, Greg Eastwood. Fifth tackle, back it comes. They've got the halfway again. Good set of 6. Reynolds kicks deep. Now it's a spiralling kick taken well by Perrott inside his 20. He's outside the 20 now, but there's this, look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 South Sydney players in a line.
Yeah, their defence is just irresistible, isn't it? And they just keep turning up for each other. And I just big George Burgess just coming off the paddock here. He's got a couple of trainers with him. I'm not sure what's happened to George, but he doesn't look all that flash himself.
In carting the ball up, he suffered an injury. Here's Canterbury down by 4-0. 17 before half-time. A try to Johnston. It was 0-0 for much of the first half as the ball comes out the back to Hodkinson. Oh, wrapped up by the 20-year-old Dylan Walker. What a tackle. Smashed him right on halfway. Plays the ball back. Moses Mbai. Here's the first change for Canterbury. Dale Finucane. He'll give him a bit of starch in the middle. They'll play the ball back. Moses Mbai again. Fifth tackle kick this time from Reynolds. It's a nicely weighted kick as well. Now Inglis, who hasn't had much to do in the first half, has got to play it. Comes back to the defence and Finucane's there to bring him down with Moses Mbai. And he'll play the ball back just inside the 20. The acting half is there again. The ball comes away on the outside. And straight and hard. That's Alex Johnston from the left wing in the green boots. He comes across field. He's put down on the tackle. Coruscant. The ball comes back away to Lottie Takiri, so the other winger doing a bit of work. Jackson there with Graham to bring him down. Coruscant again. They come to the 40. Inside ball back away to Ben Teo. This is a great set of 6 by South Sydney. They're up to halfway now. They'll play the ball back. Coruscant again. Then the ball comes back away and the tackle is affected there. The replacement on the field plays the ball back now. The acting half comes back away to Keary. He goes high with the ball now. It's coming down for Corey Thompson. Oh, gee, that's a great take under pressure as Johnston arrived at the same time in concert with the centre three-quarter, Kiri Avalva, and now they'll try and bring the ball back from their own 20. So all of a sudden, the pressure is back on Canterbury inside their own 20 as they play the ball back. Thompson, the acting half, away to Brown, who's come from this side of the field. Now notice that David Clemmer in number 16 is on the field as well. They'll play the ball back. It comes out the back. And straight and hard they go. Put down on the tackle. Look like Morris with it now. He'll play the ball 11 short of halfway. It was Morris. Moses Mbai. Back away Finucane. Finucane's put down the tackle and driven back. Savage defence by South Sydney. They lead by 4-0. Finucane will play the ball back to Moses Mbai. Out the back it comes from just inside the 40. Low trajectory one came from Josh Reynolds. It's going back to Inglis now. I'm watching their chase. It's not as good, not as resolute. And Inglis has wound up and goes straight through them. Inglis over the 40. Comes at Reynolds. Steps back on the inside. And Inglis is away. He's inside the 40. He stepped Tony Williams. He goose-stepped around Reynolds and Reynolds comes from behind and put him down. 25 metres out from the goal line. He'll play the ball back now. I told you they didn't have a straight line. They go from dummy half. Put down Dylan Walker. 12 out from the goal line. The kick chase was terrible from Canterbury and Inglis made them suffer. They'll play the ball back. Coruscant comes back to Burgess. Burgess for the line. He reaches out but he can't get it down, Sam. He's lost the ball. Penalty right in front of the post. They'll take the 2, I would think. It's right in front of the post. There was a hand on the ball. And the message comes from Michael Maguire. Take the 2. Take the 2.
I think it's a big call. As in take the 2. The Dogs they're on their heels at the moment. I think the Dogs would like them to take the 2.
Well, that's what they're doing. I can see the trainers in back play, frantically sprinting like Olympic 100-metre runners out there to say take the 2. And that's what they're going to do from directly in front. Well, it's strange, Darryl, when you watch a lot of football. The enthusiasm from South Sydney on the kick, straight line, I mentioned 8 players. There was no urgency from Canterbury after a deeper kick, a 40-20 attempted by Josh Reynolds, and English just thought, hello, they're not quite committed.
Yep.
And he went bang, crash, wallop.
Well, we all know what quality of player he is. If you've got a staggered line against Greg Inglis, it's goodbye. He nearly went all the way then. It was just Josh Reynolds who chased him all the way, who got him in the end.
Down on the touchline, Mark Riddell, as the kick is about to come to make it 6-0, and Reynolds guides it between the uprights. Adam Reynolds makes it 6-0, 13 before half-time. Mark Riddell's down on the touchline.
Yeah, Ray, so often you get dirty at a player when they give away a penalty, but I think Dale Finucane just saved the Bulldogs 6 points. It was very smart play, well, I think, anyway. The Rabbitohs are only up by 4. It only goes to 6 points, still only one try. I thought the South Sydney side were going to score for sure. I think he saved 6 points for the Bulldogs.
Dale Finucane as he bring the ball back through Laffey. They kick off yet again. Rabbitohs lead the Bulldogs by 6-0 as the right boot strikes it. IMB, Better Value Banking, bring you the score. Taken by Keary. Back away and held in the tackle now. They'll play the ball back 21 metres out from the goal line. It looks like Chris McQueen's on the field. No, in fact, it's the 14, Jason Clark, my apologies.
James Graham off as well.
So Jason Clark is out there and James Graham comes off and Clemmer comes on. The headgear is worn by Tim Brown. He's out there, so a double change. 11 short of halfway. And this time Tom Burgess carts them up over the halfway. They've got a bit of a roll on here. They'll play the ball back. Coruscant from acting half. Sloppy marker defence. That time by Tim Brown. Eventually put down by Clemmer. He'll play the ball back again. Fifth tackle. Out the back it comes Reynolds. Chased by Mbai. It's a pretty ordinary kick. They take it on the fly. Inglis. He's away. Inglis gets on one knee. Gets up. They hang off him. Still a fifth tackle. Gave it to Walker. He kicks back towards the centre field. And Canterbury come up with it just in the field of play. And as a result, they'll play the ball here through Josh Jackson. And Jet gets up and plays the ball back. And now Perrott is almost driven back into the in-goal area. They'll play the ball back. In fact, I think it may have been Corey Thompson it was. Now Clemmer will run from acting half. And he's put down. Oh, punishing defence here by South Sydney. They play the ball back again. Thompson to acting half. He's Brown in the white headgear. He goes at the defence and held in the tackle now. 20 out from the goal line. He'll play the ball back. The acting half is there. They'll run through Perrott, doing a bit of work, taking the pressure off the forwards. He gets outside the 30. Fifth tackle. They're in strife here, Canterbury. Wrong end of the field. Now they'll come blindside. Inside the 40. Josh Reynolds kicks it. That's a great kick. And he's going to play it. That's a 40-20. That is a 40-20. That is a great kick by Josh Reynolds. Gee, I thought Inglis was a bit pedestrian getting across there. It's a 40-20.
Isn't it a tap? Don't you have a tap here now?
But
they're waiting for him to get on. So they're going to go to the video for a 40-20. I didn't think you could.
It's inside for sure.
Shane Haynes sending this to our video referee.
It's just outside the 30.
They're going to the...
It's only a 30-20.
Well, that is a great play there from Josh Reynolds, who is doing his best to inspire these Bulldogs, and they need a bit of luck. And they've got their packing for a scrum, the Bulldogs. They don't know the rules.
No, well, they used to be able to take a quick tap, but that went asunder in a game involving Parramatta this year.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway, great kick, Josh Reynolds, and everyone was not quite awake to the fact. I saw where he was. He was 32 out when he kicked it, I knew, and I don't think Inglis thought he was anywhere near it. Inglis just ambled over to it.
Yeah.
Here's the ball, 5 metres out. Mbai, the ball on the outside, Hodkinson. Out the back, they've got numbers here. As Perrott goes to the line and put down by Adam Reynolds. He'll play the ball back. Mitch Brown goes to acting half now. 2 Browns out there. The ball comes back away to Williams. Oh, put it under your arm and run. And he does that now. He's popped the ball back away and they've lost it. That's number 3. That's number 3. Number 4, I'm sorry, you're right. Number 4. That was on the second tackle. Well, he's got a job to do, this bloke. Put the ball under your arm. You weigh about 120 kilos. You can probably go about 11 and a half for the 100. Run! Don't pass it.
Yep. That's exactly what I'd be saying to him. Josh Reynolds was there trying to get to it. There's a few South players there. It was too risky. As you said, it was tackled too. He's tried to pop it to Morris, who couldn't hold on to it. There was South players everywhere.
Just take the tackle, Darryl.
He dropped it, yep. Well, this is killing them at the moment. They're not making many mistakes, the Dogs. The only one making mistakes is Tony Williams.
Well, I'll have a look at the mistake count at half-time, and if it's 4 at the moment, it'll be 4 to him at half-time. 10 to go, 6-0, Rabbitohs over the Bulldogs. The most frustrating player in the game. Down on the touchline, Mark Riddell.
Yeah, it certainly is. Look, if he just plays the ball there, gets his side, a nice quick play the ball, it's what they can create on the next play. Unfortunately, he always looks for that offload T-Rex, and that time it didn't come off.
Now they run from acting half. They're lucky not to be penalised there, Canterbury. Thank you, Mark. They play the ball back. Finucane's on the field, as we mentioned. Now the ball back away to big Tom Burgess. Good run by the big fella. He's put down 11 short of halfway. They go blindside with Keary at acting half to Inglis. And Inglis looking rather synonymous as he stands in the tackle with success, because every time he has the ball, success is around the corner. The ball comes away on the outside. Back away it comes now to Jason Clark. Jason Clark's put down on the tackle. 45 out from the goal line. He'll play the ball back just off centre field. Coruscant, the ball out the back on the 5th tackle. Little kick here from Reynolds. He's targeted it between the fullback and the winger. Now Corey Thompson plays it, brings the ball back. Comes outside the 10 towards the 20 and put down. He'll play the ball back now. 15 out from his own goal line. Gets up to his feet. Laffey. He runs outside the 20. Held on the tackle and put down now. They work so hard to get that good field position off the 40-20 by Josh Reynolds, and they surrender the ball back through Tony Williams. Now the ball comes on the outside to Jackson again. Jackson. And they're not going anywhere here, Canterbury.
Going nowhere.
They need either dummy half runs from their outside backs, or they need someone to run onto it from a fair way back. And here's Morris getting into it as first receiver. And this time he goes over the 30, but he's held on the tackle and pushed back to the 30. That's the 4th tackle against Canterbury. They play the ball back. Moses Mbai runs. That's better. Dummy half running got him over the 40. They're 5 short of halfway. Moses Mbai will play the ball back now. Hodkinson back away. This time from Reynolds. How frustrated must he be as the ball went straight to Alex Johnston. Johnston took it on the full. 20 out from his own line, and he's held on the tackle and driven back on the tackle. 35 out from his own line. The score repeating 6-0. The Rabbitohs over the Dogs. 8 before half-time. 6-0 the score. And from acting half they go. Put down on the tackle now. They'll play the ball 5 metres short of halfway. And they'll play it through the outside back. And I think it's the number 4 who gets up and plays it, and that's Kiri Avava. They play the ball back 45 metres out. There's another change on the field. Kyle Turner comes on. Kyle Turner and jumper number 15 in headgear. They go to the blind side. Burgess popped it back away. Kiri into space. He's taken by the centre 3-quarter now. Josh Morris, 28 metres out from the goal line. South Sydney looking for their second. They lead by 6-0 as Reynolds pumps it out the back. The ball from Sutton back to Inglis. He's taken to the tackle now. The tackle had to be made, and that was Laffey. He plays at 5th tackle. The ball comes back away. Reynolds with a little kick into the in-goal area. It's going to be played out by Perrott and forces the ball. Goal line dropout. He forces the ball as he's harassed by Ben Teo. And as a result, the ball will come back for a goal line dropout for Canterbury. 7 before half-time, and it's the Rabbitohs leading the Bulldogs by 6 points to 0 for IMB. Better value banking.
There's a blue going on here at the moment in the back play. I don't know what happened here, but there's 2 blokes have hit the deck, 1 South player and 1 Bulldogs player.
It's Keary and Mbai, I think. I know it's Luke Keary for sure. And Reynolds is in there niggling. Don't know what happened. Keary seemed to be having a disagreement after he'd already awarded the goal line dropout. We'll have a look at it. Mark Riddell could see it. What's happened there, Piggy?
Yeah, Ray, I was watching it happen, unfold. Luke Keary and Moses Mbai, they were just kind of talking, and then there was a little bit of a head lead from Mumbai into Luke Keary, and then it was like a bit of a scuffle. That's that. This is after it. This happened after there was a bit of head contact earlier on, which started the confrontation. It wasn't much, but that's what started it.
I'm tipping they'll let it go. I'm tipping they'll say goal line dropout. Keary's having a wry grin as he watches himself on the big screen.
Geez, a good player, Luke Keary. He's had a great first half.
Anyway, here's the dropout coming from the wing 3-quarter, Mitch Brown. So they had a little set too, and Brown, right, gee, that's a kick. 58 metres on the fly, and it's taken by Sutton, who gives it to Burgess. And Tom Burgess winds up and put down on the tackle, 40 up from the goal line. He'll play the ball back. The front row was there, Tim Brown, to bring him down. Back they go again and put down on the tackle. They'll play the ball back again. It comes away on the outside. Reynolds back on the inside to Sam Burgess. The Burgess is having a fair bit to do with this. He'll play the ball back now. The acting half is there. And then away on the outside they go. Put down on the tackle. 12 metres out from the goal line. A slip. And they play at South Sydney on the attack. 4th tackle. They go the same way where they scored the try. Double pump. But the ball looked to go forward there, I thought, from Reynolds on the outside. But they'll play the ball back. The acting half is there. Flinked it out the back. The kick across field from Sutton. It's coming down near the goal line. But well done by Morris, who's tackled mid-air, I thought. They just got to him there, and I think it's the number 14, Jason Clark, who tackled him while he was still up in the air.
Well, I'm sure he was tackled in the air. They'll have a look at this. He's staying down here, Josh Morris. I'll tell you what, if you're a Bulldog supporter, I think at 6-0, you'd be reasonably happy with the scoreline. And you wouldn't be happy the way they're going, but you'd be happy with the scoreline because they're not out of this. Let's have a look at this again. Goes up for it. Of course he's tackled in the air.
Yeah, by Clark. I mean, what I don't understand, Darryl, I'm only an idiot in a broadcast box watching a really blurry image on TV and a better image with my glasses at the end of my nose, and I can see he's tackling me there. I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 6 officials, and they all missed it. And they're having another look at just to confirm. Well, he's tackled mid-air, and he can't be tackled mid-air by Clark. Mark Riddell's on the touchline.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Ray. And the Bulldogs didn't they need this penalty? The South Sydney side have put them under the pump big time. Just with those interchanges you mentioned, Kyle Turner, he came on the field. Sutton slipped back into the 5-8 role, and Luke Keary's playing dummy half with the ball. And then in defence, Keary's going back to his edge, Sutton playing in the middle.
Okay, well done, well spotted. Thank you, Mark. So here they are finding touch from the ensuing penalty. So they eventually got the penalty, and Tony Williams tucks the ball under the arm and goes outside the 30. He'll play the ball back now. The acting half is there. It's Moses Mbai, back away to Clemmer. The number 8 out there again, George Burgess. And he's driven back in the tackle. Comes from Moses Mbai. Comes back to the blind side. Brown, he unloaded it out the back. Then it quickly went away to Williams. He gave the ball back to Morris. Morris into a little bit of space, but he's bulldog to the ground. Wasn't held. No, he was, they say. The ball hit the ground while it was in the arm. Plays it back. Moses Mbai to Tim Brown. He goes at the defence and held in the tackle now. He'll play the ball back. The acting half is there. They go to the open side. The ball with Finucane out the back to Josh Reynolds. Calls them back on the inside. It's with Josh Jackson. Jackson through the centre of the field, and he's put down the tackle now. He'll play the ball back. The acting half is there. It comes back away. Jason Clark involved in the tackle. 5th tackle kick from Josh Reynolds again. That's a beautiful kick. They go down. Thompson flicked it back on the inside, but he flicked it into touch. It didn't matter. It was going into touch anyway, so it's a changeover of the knock on. And the ball will come back to South Sydney without the need for the scrum, 10 metres out. Inglis was watching it, and Corey Thompson left the field of play and tried to flick it back on the inside, but it travelled forward.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad kick there again from Josh Reynolds. He's kicking okay. It's funny when you look at the two sides. I reckon the Bunnies have kicked on, 10, 12 occasions. I reckon 10 of them have been bombs. And I can't recall the Dogs putting a bomb up. They've been kicking for field position the whole time.
They haven't got close enough. They've been up there 3 times, and Williams has put it down. Here's the ball back away, or giving the ball back. And that's Sam Burgess playing the ball back now, about 12 metres short of the halfway line. Well, they've got to hang on in for the next 3 minutes here, Canterbury. There's Lottie to Keary, almost got away from the defence of Jackson. Put down right on halfway. They've got them going backwards as Keary went to acting half. Then the ball back away to George Burgess. He's filled on the tackle now. He'll play the ball back. Jackson, the tackler, comes out the back. Inside ball back away. Inglis is going to put up a Gary Owen. It's a high bomb. It's coming down for Perrott. Perrott stands his ground. They took it absolutely and utterly magnificently.
Yeah, that was great. That is great, and that'll give the Bulldogs a bit of a lift. Corey Thompson gets into dummy half. Oh, they're not going anywhere, the Dogs. The defence from the Bunnies has been sensational in the first half.
That was Kyle Turner in the headgear making the tackle, trying to make ground. They can't. Laffey's driven back. But I still think if they can cling to this 6-0 deficit at half-time, Hasler won't be unhappy. They'll play the ball back straight and hard for Finucane. He's put down play. Gee, there's some defence here. Unbelievable defence, this time from Jason Clark again. As the ball comes on the outside to Clemmer. Clemmer's put down on the tackle now. He'll play it on the 5th. They're only 30 out in their own line. They play it back. Moses Mbai out to Reynolds. Reynolds from outside the 30 looking for another 40-20. This is a great kick again. Now Johnston's got to rush back for it. He's got a head bandage on Johnston. Takes it in the green boots. Brings it outside the 10 to the 20. Now they get there through Laffey and they bring him down. That was almost his second 40-20.
That was a great kick. I mean, they got a lot of distance on that. And as you said, Johnston had to rush back to get that ball. But here we go. This is the second tackle. They're almost up to halfway already. Bulldogs can hardly get there after 6.
Here's the ball back away to Kyle Turner in the black headgear. He's put down on the tackle. 6-0 the score. Rabbitohs over the Dogs, 1:22 to half-time. The ball back to Johnny Sutton. He stands in the tackle. A try before half-time will be great for South Sydney, catastrophic for Canterbury. They'll play the ball back to Keary at acting half. The ball comes on the outside to Reynolds. Now that player running after him, I think it's Walker, is offside as the ball's coming to the dead ball line and fallen on by Perrott. But it's a goal line dropout. And I'm sure if they score, they look at the replay. I reckon he's 2 metres offside. Dylan Walker, he went off before acceptances.
Well, he knew what the play was because it was a planned move. There's no doubt about it. And that was a pinpoint accurate kick from Adam Reynolds. They're going to get one more crack at them here. They might get Well, they might get 1 or 2 tackles here. There's 45 seconds to go. How long do you get to take a drop out? It's about 45 seconds, isn't it?
Well, they'll signal time off in a moment if they don't. Now, yeah, well, you know what? They've taken it within 22 seconds, or they haven't taken it yet. 25, 31 to go. Yeah, they've taken it in the required time. It was exactly 31 to go when he kicked it. And here's the ball back away to Georgie Burgess. He winds up. Oh, look at him go! Whoa, crikey! No fear for his own body.
He's dropped it. And I don't know if he's. I know he's getting up. He dropped a great tackle from Finucane. What's his name? Finucane. Finucane. It was a great head-on tackle. The Dogs have rushed to pack the scrum. They must have a planned move on with 10 seconds to go.
Yes, it's a planned move. They've worked on a Belmore from 65 metres out. It's called feed the scrum, cross yourself and hope. Anyway, here they are with 10 seconds to go to half-time, so they've averted that try. Rabbitohs leading 6-0 over the Dogs now. I'm telling you, given what's happened here, they won't be unhappy. I'm told that South Sydney had completed up until that 20 out of 20 as the ball comes to Morris. So they'll complete at half-time 20 out of 21. And there's Reynolds having a little set to here with Morris, I should say, and Reynolds rushes over, but they disentangle themselves when they go to half-time. And as I've said a number of times, despite being down by 6-0, they won't be unhappy. Canterbury made 176 tackles to only 154 by South Sydney. Where's the errors? 5 by Canterbury, 4 of them made by Tony Williams. One player accounting for 4 of the 5 mistakes at half-time. South Sydney 6, Canterbury Bankstown 0.
They've had no ball, you know, the Bulldogs. You look at this, it's 55 to 45, the percentage here, and you would think with that sort of a percentage, 6-0 is probably okay for the Bunnies, but I think given the dominance, the field position and the dominance they've had in the first half, I don't think 6 points is enough for them. They'll be happy the way they play because they've defended really well. It's only going to take one little bit of luck go the Bulldogs' way or something, and they're right back in this game. I wouldn't be writing the Dogs off here.
Let's look at the stats for tyre power. A try to Alex Johnson in the 20th minute, 6-0 the score. Reynolds 1 from 2, missed the conversion. A penalty for in front with the other 2 points. The scrums are 5-1, South Sydney over Canterbury. The penalties are 3-2, Canterbury over South Sydney. And the half-time score is South Sydney 6, Canterbury 0. Now, Reynolds kicked that penalty goal in the 27th minute to make it 6-0. But the other Reynolds kicked a magnificent 40-20. In fact, it was from 32 metres out. Second tackle over on the left-hand side, the western side of the field. Blow me down. Tony Williams tries an impossible pass. Josh Morris, they surrender possession. Earlier today, I should say more correctly, Holden Cup, Warriors 34, Broncos 32. The NRL State Championship, Northern Pride from North Queensland over Penrith, the heavy favourites by 32 points to 28, 32-28. The half-time score here, South Sydney 6, Canterbury 0. We think in the first tackle of the game there was a head clash between James Graham and Sam Burgess, and we think that Sam fractured a cheekbone in that head clash. But half-time, it's the Rabbitohs over the Dogs by 6-0. We'll come back with Daryl Broman and Mark Riddell to look at the first 40 minutes of play. And welcome back. Half-time stats coming away for our sponsor, Tyre Power. Now, South Sydney, as we mentioned just before half-time, when Big Burgess, that would have been Georgie Burgess, lost the ball from the goal line dropout, had completed 20 of 20, which is a rare feat given the enormity of the game in a grand final. So it shows on the stats 21 of 21, but unfortunately they're wrong. It's 20 of 21 because the last set was incomplete after George lost the ball. But it's close enough to 100%. But Canterbury, terrible. 14 from 19 they've completed, just 74%. And they've had, as Daryl's already pointed out, because they've had to make 183 tackles, 152 made by South Sydney, it would suggest, and it's correct, that they've had a lot to do. And unfortunately, they've had only 45% of the possession, and most of the possession's been at the other end of the field, down the southern end where they're defending. They've only been in, from my way of thinking, the 20 on 2 occasions, and both resulting in mistakes when the ball was surrendered back to South Sydney. So let's hear from Daryl Broman and Mark Riddell as they examine what happened in the first 40 minutes. Daryl.
Well, Peggy, 6-0 at half-time. I don't know if I'm a South Sydney supporter, whether I'm really happy with that or a bit disappointed. What do you think?
Yeah, look, it's a hard one to get a gauge on, isn't it? The South Sydney side they've run their own race, really, in this first half. As you said, it's only 6-0 on the scoreboard. Now, if you're a South Sydney fan, obviously you're happy at 6-0 up. You would have probably liked to have been 12, maybe 14 points ahead with the way they've played in this first half. But on the flip side of things, you'd have to be pretty happy with how Souths have defended. I think they've defended phenomenally well, and they've turned the Bulldogs side away. They've controlled everything that they've thrown at them so far. So, look, it is really hard to get a gauge on it, and I agree with you, Big Man. I think the Bulldogs side come out here, they jag one try, it's 6-all, and she's going back on.
Oh, absolutely, and they get that massive supporter base they've got there behind them, and they get their tail up. The other thing that's happened here, James Graham has probably been off the paddock for, I'd say 15 minutes, and they've managed to keep South to 6-0. Now, James Graham's going to come back out there. He's their gun. Clearly, he's their best forward. He's going to come back out, and you'd think he'd be reasonably refreshed. I'd imagine Des will get him back out there maybe 5 minutes into the second half, and he's going to come out with, with fresh legs.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be too long before we see him back on the field and finish out the game for the Bulldogs side. Look, he needs to inspire this Bulldogs side. I think there's a factor there with the tackles that I think Ray mentioned. I think the Bulldogs have had to make 6 sets of 6 more in defence than what the South Sydney side have had to make. So, I just wonder in the back end of this game whether that'll take its toll. As we've said through the call, this game has been played at a frenetic pace. The South Sydney side have only had that one error, so it's been end-to-end stuff for most of the half. I just wonder how much that would have taken out of the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Peggy, it's amazing. I'm just looking at the stats here for the South Sydney side, and I'm just talking about the forwards here in distance run. George Burgess, 11 runs for 106 metres. Sam Burgess, 13 runs for 113 metres. And Thomas Burgess, who has found a new lease, well, not a new lease of life, he's now one of the really good players, 8 runs for 83 metres. They, in fact, are the leading 3-metre gainers for the South Sydney forwards. It's remarkable.
Well, they've set a platform. They've laid the platform for the South Sydney side. Now, we mentioned early, Big Man, about Sam Burgess and that head collision. Look, I honestly think there's a fair bit of damage to his cheekbone, and I was just watching him pretty closely through that first half. He was unbelievable. The way he was carrying that ball every set of 6. I think he played the whole half of football for the South Sydney side. So if they're to get home tonight and he's to have a hand in this second half, that's going to be a phenomenal, if not one of the best efforts from a player in a grand final.
Well, I just had to confirm that I was outside for a quick break, gentlemen. And speaking to the boys from Channel 9, Brad Fittler spoke to him exclusively on 9 as he left the field. We can't get access to him. He said it's gone. He's got a broken cheekbone, so that's now confirmed.
Well, it's John Sattler-like, to be honest with you. I know it's a bit different having a broken cheekbone to a jaw, but it's John Sattler-like. This, remember, was in the first 5 seconds of the game.
First tackle. Okay, gentlemen, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much, Mark Riddell. Darryl Bramman, we take a break. We'll come back with the second 40 minutes. 6-0 South Sydney over the Canterbury Bankstown side. And welcome back as we're at the launch into the second half here. If you're a tradie, you can count on Coates Hire to help make your project happen. Our mates at Coates Hire have all the best brands, the latest equipment to help you and your team to get the job done on time, on budget. It doesn't matter whether you need to hire gear for a couple of days or a couple of months. Coates Hire has quality equipment ready to go when you need it. They'll even deliver to your site, whether it's 6 in the morning or the middle of the night. Go to the website coateshire.com.au for opening times. Let's make it happen with Coates Hire. Players back shortly, listening from the North Sea near Norway, says Stuart, on an oil rig. Good on you, Stu. Bathurst 1,000 fans, the wait is over. This month, Holden is offering bonus registration, bonus stamp duty and bonus third-party insurance across the entire Commodore range. Plus, celebrate the Bathurst 1,000 with an additional $1,000 factory bonus across the entire Commodore range. Sometime later this week, when they're open, race into your local Holden dealer and talk to them about that wonderful offer coming to commemorate Bathurst coming up shortly as well. Okay, then, we're waiting for these players to come back. 6-0 the score. The equation is fairly simple. Canterbury have got to score first in the second half to get back into the game. You have a feeling, even allowing for the fractured cheekbone suffered by Sam Burgess, if the Rabbitohs get a roll on and get to 10 or 12-0, they'll win their first grand final in 43 years.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right, because in that first half, really the Bulldogs never looked like scoring. When they did have opportunities up inside the Bunnies' 20-metre zone, they made mistakes, and Tony Williams was involved in both of them. So it's a real problem for them. But to their credit, the Bulldogs, they have defended well. They've defended extremely well. They've only let the one try in, and that came on the back of Luke Keary. He just saw the numbers, and he went the blind side. He gave it to Ava'a, who gave it on the outside to Alex Johnston. He just had to, well, he didn't have to stroll over, but it was a pretty easy try for a quality winger like he is, and that was the difference between the two sides.
don't forget, Darryl, that I don't want to labour it. It came after they kicked a 40-20 at the other end of the field.
Tony Williams threw the ball to Morris.
Threw the ball down, and they went down to the other corner, the southeastern corner, and scored the try.
Yeah, look, I think the Dogs, if they can get a bit of luck, they're not out of this. I'm definitely not writing them off. You take into account they've had to do, 30 more tackles than the opposition. South were nearly perfect with the ball in the first half. South Sydney play most sides in this competition. They can complete 20 out of 21, and you would think they would be leading by 20 or so. A South Sydney side with the potency they've got, but they're not, and that's a great credit to the Bulldogs' defence. But I think they've got to be tied, the Bulldogs. They've got to be tied.
By the way, you're paying tribute as I walk back into the broadcast box on the amount of carries for George, Sam and young Tom. 83 metres for Tom, who came off the interchange bench, which is unbelievable. George 106 and Sam 113 for 11 carries for George, 13 for Sam and 8 for Tom. Tackles. George Burgess 19. His brother Sam 18. And not far behind them, Apasai Coruscant with 17 tackles. And Adam Reynolds has made 16 tackles. Quite a phenomenal performance by the South Sydney side.
It's funny, you look at Greg Inglis, and I would have thought by his standards, even though he made one magnificent run, I thought he was a little quiet in that first half. I now look at his stats. 8 runs, 119 metres, 5 tackle breaks. I suppose 4 of them might have been that run he made.
That was 4 then, for sure, 4 of the 5. Anyway, they'll be back out for the second half, and can South Sydney create history? Will it be Canterbury being the first team ever to come from 7th to win the competition? As we told you earlier, a team has only come from outside the top 4 in modern history. I think back in 1995 it was Canterbury coming from 6th. This time they're doing it from 7th. New Zealand Warriors came from 8th to win the Holden Cup earlier this afternoon. So I guess we'll wait and see what happens. I'm listening to your live streaming from Madrid in Spain, says Peter, who's a South supporter from Maroubra originally. Well, good luck to you, mate. It's nice to have you company. And Rudy said, I'm still on the Irish Sea. It's cold, it's wet, but the bunnies are warming the cockles of my heart, says Rudy. Good luck to you, mate. Well, it's a long way from over, I can assure you. And the one thing I know about Canterbury, as I've seen many, many times, not just this year and years gone by, no matter who plays for them, no matter who coaches them, when it gets close and gets down and dirty, that they'll accommodate anyone. When it gets grinding, they're at their best, and it's grinding. That's what it is at the moment, it's grinding.
When they roll their sleeves up, isn't it?
Yeah, and Hasler would be saying, listen, we've played terribly. We should be down by maybe 18-0. The game should be won by now. We're down by 6-0. And we've only got up there on 2 occasions and we've surrendered possession to them. Let's get together and let's win this game. So they're a long way from out of the game yet. Having said that, if South Sydney score in the opening 5 or 10 minutes, the floodgates could open, because then it becomes a game where they're playing catch-up. They can't afford to be down and dirty anymore. They've got to play an expansive game, which won't suit them. I
know he's playing injured, but they've got to get more out of Trent Hodkinson. Look, he's defending well. He's missed the odd tackle, but in general, he's a great defender. But they're just getting nothing out of him. He's not running the ball. It's up to Josh Reynolds to do the whole lot. Josh Reynolds is trying his hard, and as are all the players out there. There's absolutely no doubt about that. They're trying so hard, but they just don't have, at the moment, they don't have the class. That's why I'm thinking if they can, flum a try from a bomb or a ricochet, some sort of a kick, they're right back in the game, because confidence is a wonderful thing. And then you'll see the Rabbitohs start looking at the scoreboard thinking, what's going on here? We've dominated this game and they're equal with us. The mind is a very powerful thing. I'm Darryl Broman.
Except yours. It's the one exception to the rule.
Good call.
Oh, dear, oh, dear. Anyway, out they come for the second half.
Look at our man Piggy down there. Look, he is talking to another future legend down there, Ray. You can see your man Finchy's down there.
Oh, lovely boy.
You can have a word to him. He's ready to go.
By the way, Hal Brown did play in that game. He ran on Hal Brown in that game in 69. We were talking about the best centre in town, Hal Brown, earlier. Here he is, Mark Riddell on the touchline with the man that might get his top and bottom teeth done together as a Channel 9 dentist in Barks.
Yeah, I'm down here with Finchy. We're just talking about the first half. Ray, what do you think, Fincho?
Yeah, thought it was good. Obviously, South, I think, have had more possession and certainly got the better of it, but the Dogs are hanging in there.
What about this second half, mate? You think South can go on with it?
Yeah, I certainly think so. It reminds me a lot of that game in the semi against the Roosters. They were hanging in there, but just the power and strength, South just seemed too big and strong, and I think they'll run away with it.
Going back to your commentary duties, mate. Thank you.
I haven't said too much, so
happens on TV, Finchy. You get a lot more say in radio, I can tell you. Anyway, here's the kickoff from Greg Inglis. So South Sydney to kick off to open the second half, leading by 6 points to 0. The referees haven't had much to do, and what they've done very well. Here's Inglis from halfway, and the game is underway for the second half. It's going to come down. Oh, went backwards. He'll have to run the ball out here, Reynolds, and he does. He's lost the ball, and they're going to say held. Well, they try to push him back in the in-goal area. That was a bad start, but they're going to run the ball back through Perrott now from their own goal line when they should be up over the 20 or towards the 30. So they've started as they finished here, Canterbury, poorly. From acting half, Moses Mbai gave the ball back away to Tony Williams. He runs at them, that's better. He got to almost to the 20, but they've had 3 tackles already. They'll plate the ball back to Moses Mbai again for Canterbury. Then the ball back away to Dale Finucane. He's put down on the tackle now, just inside the 34th tackle, so they're in a poor field position. Plays it to Moses Mbai. The ball on the outside to Brown. He goes straight and hard, almost to the 40. Well, that's better from where they started. They should almost be to halfway. They're about 11 back from where they should be. The ball will come out the back to Reynolds. That's a rebound. It's come back away from the replacement, Kyle Turner's leg, and it's going to be picked up, and he's going to be flung to the ground on the far side and change over. Oh, dear.
Well, how's that not played at? I mean, the 2 players were rushing at him. Surely they played at the ball.
Well, I'd need to see a replay, but I would think on first thought, you're right. So here's Canterbury under pressure. Reynolds' kick appeared to be charged down off the legs. When I say charge, you can't charge down off the legs, but you know what I mean. Played at, hit him in the legs, stuck his leg out, and then they've said play on as the ball came back on a changeover. Here's Burgess with the ball now. They'll play the ball back through Tom Burgess, 5 out from the goal line. Keary still at acting half. Sutton turns the ball back on the inside, and straight and hard goes the replacement, Carl Turner. He's put down on the tackle. 3rd tackle, 3 out from the goal line. Catastrophic start here. They come blindside. The ball out the back to Sutton. They've got numbers. Sutton goes. He's almost there. They cling to him. Perrott was over the top. Underneath Finucane made another try-saving tackle. Keary acting half. Sends the ball back away, and now the ball is back with Jason Clark. He got away from 2 of them. Gave the ball to Burgess. Gave it to the other Burgess, and he's put down. It's a Burgess-a-thon. He'll play the ball back again. 5th tackle, Keary. The ball out the back. Reynolds, little stab kick to the in-goal area. They'll pick the ball up and be tackled in goal. Goal line dropout. Morris it was that tidied up. It will be a goal line dropout. The Rabbitohs lead by 6-0 over the Bulldogs, and a goal line dropout. Well, Piggy, I haven't had a look at the replay. What did you think about the charge down?
Well, yeah, I'd like to have another look at it as well, but I was the opposite of you boys. I thought it was fine. I actually thought the South player turned his back into the defence. And we're not going to get a look at it on the replay here. We see Reynolds' kick. I thought it was a great kick from Reynolds. You guys mentioned it earlier that they've gone to the air a fair bit in that first half. That time they got the repeat set.
Here's the big dropout going to the halfway. Inglis is going to take the ball for South Sydney. They need 6-0. Gives it back away to Burgess, and this time it's Tom Burgess charging onto it now and put down on the tackle. He's about 28 metres out from the goal line. Great field position. Keary acting half. The ball comes away on the outside now. Put down Jason Clark. He'll play it 16 metres out from the goal line. It should be a penalty. Clemmer's all over him like calamine lotion. Oh, a bit of latitude shown there. Back it comes to Burgess again. He's held on the tackle now. 5 out, threw it out the back as he's tackled. The ball's gone back. Picked up now by the centre three-quarter Walker. Turns it back on the inside to Sam Burgess. He's put down on the tackle. He'll play the ball back to his feet now. The ball comes out the back. It's Sutton. Sutton, beautiful ball. It's on the ground. Canterbury taken out of the play, I thought there. It's picked up now by the wing three-quarter Johnston. Oh, 0 tackle. I thought Canterbury were taken out and trying to get to the ball. That's 0 tackle. Oh, they're on the ropes here. Sutton, out the back it comes now. Straight and hard it comes to the replacement, Jason Clark. He's put down the tackle, Clark. He'll play the ball back now. About 2 metres out from the goal line. Clark disentangles himself. Keary went from acting half, but they're away to him and they held him up through Perrott. Close to the goal line now. Brown there as well, Tim Brown. He'll play the ball back. The acting half, Clark. Then the ball comes away to Reynolds. Double pumps. Oh, that's knocked on. That's terrible play. That is terrible play. And it's rather prophetic because I'm sure that over on this side of the field, the western side, the referee's made a mistake. I'm sure that Canterbury players were held off after the ball went to ground off South Sydney.
Yeah, I'm not convinced by that, but I'll say this. That is a great piece of defence from the Bulldogs. They've had an awful start to the second half. The opening 4 minutes, they've made 2 mistakes, the Bulldogs, and they've had to defend for their lives. And you know what? They did. They finally got a mistake out of the Bunnies. So the Bunnies only made 1 mistake in the whole of the first half, and now we see their first mistake after only 4 minutes. I'm not saying the tide's turning here, but credit to the Bulldogs' defence.
Well, think about it. A mistake off the kick-off by Josh Reynolds.
Yep.
Okay, then a goal line dropout. A couple of dubious decisions going against them, and they've defended, and they could be down by 12-0, and they're not. They've won the lottery. Down the touchline, Mark Riddell.
I'll tell you what, I would have liked to have seen that one go on to the video ref. I thought Trent Hodkinson played at the ball when Sam Burgess caught it. They didn't go to it, so maybe I was wrong.
Here's the ball played back away for Nukin. Away on the outside it comes to Jackson. Jackson goes to the other side of the field, beating defenders past Burgess. That was Sam, but eventually he's taken by the second Burgess, or the second or third. George got to him this time. He'll play the ball back again, the acting half. Back to Clemmer. He winds up. He's had precious little to do with the ball. He's put down 30 metres out from his own line. Quick play the ball. Reynolds got to acting half now, but he's taken the marker. They're appealing, saying he was offside, but I thought he was all right, and that would have been big Tommy Burgess as the ball comes back away to Tim Brown. He runs into the defence and handled by Kyle Turner, and he'll be playing the ball about on the 5th tackle, 6 metres away from halfway. Plays it Mbai. He sends the ball. Well, it went to the wrong player. Mbai back to Hodkinson. He can't kick the ball back to Reynolds, and Reynolds fell over. He gave it back. No changeover. Well,
that's just terrible play. The ball went to the wrong player. Now, it ended up, this shows you how bad the knee of Trent Hodkinson's is. He got the ball by mistake. He had ample time to put a kick in, but he couldn't do it. He couldn't kick, so he threw the ball, ended up going to Reynolds, who slipped over, and he just got nailed by one of the Bunnies players. That's horrendous play.
Went to Finucane. Mbai must have known it was a 5th tackle. He threw it to the wrong player. Now, James Graham's about to come back and steady the ship here, and so's Ben Teo, I think you'll find. George plays it. Out the back it comes to Tom. I think we'll just use their Christian names. George, Tom and Sam. Tom plays it. Comes out to Keary. Keary turns it back on the inside now. Almost through the tackle, Kyle Turner. Kyle Turner's put down, 25 metres out. Around the legs with Tony Williams. Plays it out the back, Sutton. Sutton gave it away. Reynolds back on the inside. It came to George. He's put down the tackle. He'll play it. Good tackle again this time by Mbai. 15 out from the goal line. Sutton goes to acting half. Reynolds turns it back on the inside. Inglis. He's held on the tackle now, 10 metres out, Inglis. And he'll play the ball. That'll be the 4th tackle. Gets to his feet now from 10 out. The acting half, Sutton. He's been there a few times now. Reynolds to the line. Out the back, they've got numbers out wide. Oh, big tackle by Laffey. And he brought him down the centre 3/4. Kiri Avava. He'll play the ball on the 5th, 8 metres out from the goal line. Sutton again. Reynolds runs across field. Now Reynolds, and now he's held in the tackle. A changeover. He thrown it at the back. It came to Canterbury. Hodkinson has it. Oh, that was Josh Reynolds on Adam Reynolds. Great chase.
Oh, great chase from... See, that's the beauty of Josh Reynolds. And there's the Bulldogs making some metres. Now, it's been a long time since they've made some metres. They threw it out to the backs. They've made some metres. But again, Josh Reynolds, inspirational. Great defence from the Dogs.
Here's big Frank Pritchard on the field now, D. He'll play the ball back. You love being called D. It brings back memories, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Big D I like.
Yes, here's the ball back away to Clemmer. He'll play the ball back, Clemmer. As he tries to get to his feet, he does. 42 metres out from the goal line. That's the 4th tackle. Canterbury in the best field position this half. Mbai goes back the other side. Here's Graham back into the fray. He's put down 35 out. We've had 7.5 minutes, 6-0. The Rabbitohs still lead. Goes blindside now. Hodkinson, will he kick this time? The ball comes back to wing. It's into the in goal. Inglis has got to pick it up, and he's pushed back into the in goal. Is he? No. He's just in the field of play. Hodkinson, a wonderful kick.
It was a good kick, wasn't it? It was a great chase from the Bulldogs. Now the Bulldogs are zeroing in here. They said, let's cop some of your medicine back here, you bunny boys.
And Lottie Takiri plays the ball. They'll run it from their own goal line again. They've lost it. It's back to the Dogs. 5 metres out. They put the ball down as cold as a potato. They'll play the ball back now from 5 or 6 metres out. Finucane gets up. They play the ball back. The acting half, Mbai, comes to Clemmer. Can they strike back Canterbury? It's 6-0 to South Sydney here at ANZ. There's still 32 minutes to go. Canterbury from 6 metres out from the goal line in centre field. Play the ball back. The acting half, Mbai, gave it to Williams. Williams is there. 2 metres out. Please don't pass the ball. He'll play the ball 8 metres away from the goal line. They drive him back now. He'll play it back to Moses Mbai. Mbai gives it away. Dummies. The pass on the outside of Reynolds. They've got numbers. Hodkinson. Out wide it goes. Brown will have to come back on the inside. He's held up 5 out from the goal line, Brown. That would be the 3rd tackle. He'll play it 2 in from touch. The acting half is Josh Morris. He'll send the ball back away to Frank Pritchard. Pritchard runs at them. He's held on the 4th tackle, 7 metres away from the goal. In fact, the 5th tackle, I apologise. They've missed the count here. The ball to Graham. Out the back it goes. Reynolds, little kick into the end goal. Williams is there. Try! Tony Williams, 4 mistakes a try. He scores it. 6 points to 4. Has he awarded it yet? No, he hasn't, but I'm happy with it. He's happy with it. He's about to point to the spot. He signals time on. No, hang on. Let's have a listen.
Last tackle. Had a try. Just check the onside, mate, please.
Check the onside. Check the onside. It'll be 6-4 if it's only the onside he's checking.
Geez, he looked okay to me, Tony Williams. That's a brilliant. If that's a try, that is a magnificently weighted kick from Josh Reynolds. What an impact he's having on the game. Let's have a look at this. Reynolds gets it. He kicks it. He's onside. He's on the line, and so's the chaser. That's a try. Brilliant work from both of them. He did well there, Tony Williams. That was an awkward bounce for him. He got it easily. Great try. If he's got it down, that's a try.
Well, they didn't say check the put down because the referee's in front of him and he was there to see the put down, and here it is. It's a good put down. He's onside. That'll be 6-4, 6-all on the moment. Laffey will take the kick at goal, I would imagine. Although Hodkinson's there. Laffey did the kicking last week because of the knee injury, but Hodkinson is there.
Well, he's going to take it, Hodkinson. He's the only one there.
Here's the decision coming, Darryl. Will be 6-4. On the screen right now, decision pending. It'll be green light. Rabbitohs over the Dogs. It's a try, confirmed. 6-4. 6-4. And Hodkinson. He'll take the kick at goal, 15 metres out, 20 metres in from touch. He'll throw this one over to make it 6-all. Well, that was all on the back of great defence, superb defence, and on the back of a brilliant kick by Josh Reynolds, a magnificent kick by Josh Reynolds, who's had a lot more to do than normal. A lot more to do than normal tonight because of Hodkinson's knee injury. And here's Trent moving into it. All the strappings on his left knee and about to move into it now. A very, very accurate kicker by normal standards. And it'll be all levelled up, one would imagine, after this kick. We've got a great view of it from our Western broadcast position. The right boot guides it straight between the uprights. 6-all, she's all locked up. It's a wonderful stadium, this great theatre. It was 14 years ago, about 2.5 weeks ago, where I sat where that big number 10 is down there in the Canterbury jumper and called Kathy Freeman's race when she won the 400 at the Sydney Olympics. And here I am watching another great sporting event, the 2014 NRL Grand Final, where she's all locked up at 6-all. Piggy Riddell's on the touchline.
Well, Ray, when we speak about early on tonight, the South Sydney side and their completion rate, well, it was a fundamental error from Dylan Walker, I think it was, that turned the possession over, and finally the Dogs have made this bunny side pay. It was a beautiful kick from Josh Reynolds. He threaded the needle, and big Tony Williams was there on the spot.
Moses Mbai, thank you, Mark, takes the kick off and gives it straight to David Clemmer. So there'll be a step, increased step here from Canterbury. They'll lift the tempo now that they've drawn level again with 29 to go. Anyone's game. 6-all as the score would indicate. Mbai back to Graham. And Graham makes ground up over the 30. So this is a better kick return than the first one that started the second stanza. Here's Pritchard, a little bit of a skip. He goes at the defence and he's put down 9 short of halfway, 15 in from touch. Plays it back again. The acting half Mbai sends it back away to Graham. Haven't seen Tolman back out there yet. He's on the touchline and watching. Eastwood hasn't come back either after a magnificent first 25 minutes. Plays it to Mbai, 5th tackle, back to Reynolds from halfway. Low trajectory kicks. He's not putting them up in the air. He's just putting them towards the ground, and it's taken by Inglis. And this time there, you see, that's the difference. There's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them.
It was a great chase, wasn't it? It was a really great chase, but he's trying to place his kicks because he can rely on their defence. Their defence has been fantastic tonight. Absolutely fantastic, the Bulldogs' defence. And at the moment, they're on top.
They will play the ball back now. Another change coming up. And the ball comes back away. The replacement player, Jason Clark, who's been good for South Sydney. 6-all the score here between the Rabbitohs and the Dogs with 28 to go in the 2014 Grand Final. Now the ball back away. Coruscant's back out there, I've just noted as well. That was a replacement that Steve, the PA announcer, was talking about. Here's the fifth tackle kick from 42 metres out. Now that'll bring rain. It's coming down. Perrott, oh, he's done magnificently well again. Tackle mid-air. No, inside the 10. Yeah. Keary, inside the 10.
He called him out, and Luke Keary just went on with it. See, these are the little mistakes they weren't doing in the first half. I mean, we've only had, 12 and a half minutes of the second half. One mistake in the first half. The Bunnies, I reckon they've had 4 in the second half. And you know what? That little mind will start ticking over. What the hell's going on here? 6-all. We should be leading by 20.
Here's the ball. Finding touch over the 40. And now Laffey's put down for Canterbury Bankstown. 6-all the score. 27 to go in the grand final. Mbai gives the ball to Clemmer. He's made a difference since coming on. Clemmer, very good player. Now Clemmer will play back. I notice Chris McQueen hasn't come on yet. He's warming up on the sideline. He won't be long. Here's the ball back to Eastwood. Eastwood at the line. He's put down. Good tackle from behind. Oh, Coruscant had a bit of a lick. He pulled his leg then.
Normally a penalty.
Yeah, Graham out the back now. Hodkinson inside ball back away to Pritchard. Pritchard into a gap and he's put down on the tackle. Quick play the ball from the big bloke. He gets up quickly. Plays it back to Mbai. He gave it back to Reynolds. Then to Williams. Williams running out wide. Goes between them. He's thrown it away again to Thompson. Thompson somehow came up with it. Oh, Desi, you've been saying, Tony, don't do that. He'll play the ball back. Mbai, fifth tackle, back to Josh Reynolds, to the line, little kick in behind him. Oh, beautifully fielded by Sam Burgess. That's a magnificent take, on his knees.
Left hand too, one-handed, then he just pulled it in. That was a dangerous kick there. If that was a metre to Sam's left, that would have been a really dangerous kick, but he's a quality player, Burgess.
Chris McQueen's on the field now, Darryl, as the ball comes back away to the other Burgess, and that's the number 8 this time, Georgie taking it forward, and it comes back away. Ben Tio's put down on the tackle, but South Sydney ready to strike back at 6-all. 10 short of halfway. This has been an easy march for them. Out the back it comes, and they're put down on the tackle now. It's a bit like Dylan Walker coming from the right-hand side to the left-hand side, and it was. And here's the fifth tackle kick by Reynolds. It's probably too deep. It's gone back to Perrott, took it magnificently, the Kiwi international. 12 out from his own line, goes on the attack. He's put down on the tackle by Lottie to Keary after almost getting away from Sam Burgess, of all people. Gets up and plays the ball back. Hodkinson gave it back to Mitch Brown. Oh, he's picked up by Lottie and driven back on the tackle. He's going to play it exactly where they just were. The acting half is there, and it'll be Perrott running, and Lottie to Keary makes his 3rd consecutive tackle. Oh, this is good stuff. He was assisted by Sam Burgess, I think, as the ball comes out the back. And they'll now get over the 40-metre line and put down on the tackle. 8 metres short of halfway. Canterbury 6-all the score. Clement plays the ball back. It comes back away to Graham. Graham popped it on the outside of Eastwood. That's Tio. Tio's made
great
2 consecutive tackles like that, Tio. It was him after Lottie Takiri dropped off the other tackle on Brown, and now on the 5th tackle short of halfway. He'll kick the ball downfield to Alex Johnston. Alex Johnston, the scorer of 1 try already, comes up the defence, and Laffey's there with Williams to put him down. Gee, that was good. I was just trying to figure out who it was. It was Tio. He'd normally be on this side. He's on the right-hand side at the moment. He made 2 tackles, one on Lottie Takiri, another scything tackle as well, just smashed them. 10 short of halfway. South Sydney in possession with 24 and a half to go. 6-all the score. Rabbitohs and the Bulldogs. From acting half, Coruscant. Out the back to Big Burgess. Oh, beautiful pop ball to Coruscant. In fact, Reynolds, he gets away from them. He's put down on the tackle now. I was right the first time. Coruscant gets up and goes and put down on the tackle now. It was Coruscant. Apasai Coruscant will play the ball back. Keary to acting half. Now it's with Reynolds. Turns it back on the inside. Back away, and they're put down now. 21 metres out from the goal line. The acting half is Coruscant again. He'll go the other side of the ruck. Turns it back away to Burgess. And George Burgess has gone over the top of Williams. They won't stop him. He scores under the post. That is a magnificent try. A magnificent try to George Burgess. Just total commitment. Total commitment. They pointed to the spot. They don't need the video referee. And he was like swatting flies as he went through the Canterbury defence. The biggest Canterbury player was the biggest fly, and he went bang crash wallop over the top of Tony Williams and scores under the post. 10-6 to South.
Just total commitment and also brute strength. He just went straight through the middle of the ruck. And you know what? It was on the back of some great play by his brother Sam, who went to the line a little bit earlier, popped the ball to Coruscant. He was the one who made the dent in the Canterbury defence. Coruscant made a run of about 25 metres, and on the back of that, the Bulldogs never recovered. James Graham had a crack at him. A couple of the other forwards had a crack at him, and then the fullback went out, tried to stop him, Sam Perrott. He had no chance. He just steamrolled the 4 of them, went over and scored a magnificent try for the Rabbitohs. That is just a wonderful individual effort from George Burgess.
And the kicker goal will come from Adam Reynolds directly in front. With 23 to go, it's the Bulldogs trailing by 4, shortly by 6. Reynolds from directly in front, just pure commitment. Just what it's required. 83,883 the crowd. 83,883. I'm sorry, 833. 83,833. I'm just watching a note passed to my colleagues from the print media in front of the broadcast box by officials from the NRL. 83,833. Here's the kick, directly in front, guides it between the northern uprights at ANZ Stadium and those delighted and delirious South Sydney supporters. That, by the way, is an ANZ Stadium record, 83,833 post-configuration after the Olympics in the year 2000, where they fitted in excess of 100,000 here on a couple of occasions, including the night I referred to earlier when Kathy Freeman won the 400. There were over 100,000 people that night. They reconfigured they can only fit, well, 83,833 is a record, so that's all they can fit in here now. When I say all, it's a massive stadium by world standards these days. Most of the stadiums have dropped under 60,000, with a couple of exceptions in South America. So all of a sudden, Canterbury were back in the game, and now they're behind by a converted try. And Laffey sends the ball towards the touchline, and it's plucked out of the air by Chris McQueen, who's just come on. McQueen brings the ball back and taken by Thompson. Good tackle. He's a little bloke who's very strong, Thompson.
He's a good player.
Yeah. Coruscant acting half. Sends the ball back to Ben Teo, and hasn't he made a difference in defence and now attack as he comes outside the 30. He'll play the ball back. Moses Mbai's come from the field, I just noticed, as Burgess goes on a rampage through the centre. That's Sam, leaving players in his wake. He's on halfway, plays it to Coruscant. A little bit of a step. And now South Sydney treating Canterbury with a bit of contempt as they make ground. And Coruscant broke away from them after being held by 3 defenders. Canterbury's in trouble again. Down by 12-6, 21 to go. Now Keary to acting half. The ball out the back, straight through McQueen. Stood in the tackle, got the ball, pirouetted away, and put down the tackle. Looked like Teo again. They'll play the ball. In fact, it's Dylan Walker. He plays that 5th tackle. The ball comes to Keary. Then at the back to Reynolds. Little kick in behind them. But this time it's, I think, Williams who went up and took the ball beautifully. Magnificent skill.
I think it was Mbai, actually.
No, Frank Pritchard.
Certainly was Pritchard.
Yeah,
sorry.
it was Pritchard. Mbai's just come from the field, so it was Pritchard. I thought Williams, but Williams is out here with his hands on his hips on the right-hand side. Pritchard was out there saving the scene. Here's the ball back away to Morris. He's held in the tackle 20 metres out. Mark Riddell's on the touchline.
Yeah, they were very lucky there, the Dogs. Look, I thought Adam Reynolds threaded it through, but Frankie Pritchard came up with a great catch to stop some points for the South Sydney side, but the Bulldogs, they're on the ropes at the moment.
They are indeed, as now Mitch Brown goes for a little burst. He's put down the tackle. 11 short of halfway, it's the 5th. Now it's going to come out the back, and Reynolds is going to kick it. Oh, this time it's rebounded away from the headers. Play on, and it won't be 6 to go. Pritchard's going to have to kick the ball now from inside the 40. He's done a pretty good job too. It bounces up for Inglis, but there's no straight line here. There's a staggered line. Inglis will attack them. He comes back at them. They liven up now. He went through the first line, and Graham got him on the second, and now they drive him back to the 40. 10 metres short of halfway. Confusion reigns supreme with, of course, no acting half there. Mbai's come from the field. The ball back away to Sam Burgess. He's at the defence. He's held by Jackson and Williams. He'll play, in fact, Pritchard and, I should say, Jackson. Then that's a forward pass to McQueen, I thought. He's put down on the tackle now. The Canterbury
shoulder charge. No, it's a shoulder charge, I reckon, on James Graham.
Walk away, they say. And I notice that Sam Burgess is saying to his compatriot and countryman, listen, just cop it, mate, it's a shoulder charge, and here it is now. Yeah, no. Just a classic shoulder charge. I don't know, James must have just been concussed for a minute. He didn't know what he was doing. Is that Tyrrell who's... Yes, it is. It was on Tyrrell. I said McQueen, but it's on Tyrrell. They're both back out there.
It's back here, mate. It's back here.
Now, Darryl, this is 40 metres out and directly in front. It would give them a 8-point advantage with 19 to go, and he can kick it.
Yeah. I think it's the right thing to do on this occasion. I didn't like it early in the game when it was 4-0. I know it was a gimme 2 points, but I think this is the right call here. In a tight game like this, and the Bulldogs, well, they've only managed to score 6 points in 60-odd minutes so far. It's hard to think they're going to score a few more tries. And saying that, they're capable of it, but I don't like the signs from the Bulldogs in the last 10 minutes. They look tired to me. They're dropping off tackles, and that's a real problem for them here.
I might mention that Adams got on the early crow. Sam Burgess for the Clive Churchill medal. Well, if they stop the game now, he'd win it for sure. If they stop the game now.
It's been inspirational.
It's 18 to go. 18 to go. He has been absolutely Herculean in front of a host of great players. Here's the kick from Reynolds towards the uprights. and waved away, but it's gone dead. So it's a 20-metre dropout. That's why we called it an optional restart. They can either tap it, they can kick it if they wish to, or they have to take a 20-metre dropout after a penalty goal goes dead. You don't see it very often these days, missed kicks. But here it is.
Not from there. That's a kick I reckon he'd kick 19 out of 20 times, Adam Reynolds. That's a bad miss. That's a real bad miss.
Here's a dropout coming from the centre of the 20-metre line. That's a long one. It's gone way downfield to the 30. It's taken by Inglis. And he'll give the ball back to Teo, and Teo will wind up and come at Jackson and put down the tackle. 5 short of halfway. Keary's gone to acting half. The ball comes on the outside to Burgess. That'll be Tom, I'd reckon. He's put down the tackle. In the red boots, Darryl pointed out to me. And no, in fact, it's another penalty. It's against Tolman for a hand on the ball. It's George Burgess who got the penalty. George Burgess got the penalty, the try scorer. And they've got another chance here. No, but another 2. Get another crack at it. Well, it's about 6 or 7 metres away from where he took the previous kick.
He's asking for the count. James Graham's asking for the penalty count.
You what you said? I reckon we're behind.
Yeah, I think that. You know what? I think he's got a fair argument here. I mean, that's the first time I think I've seen a penalty in this game for some bloke sort of slowing the play down with the hand on the ball. It's happened the whole game, and the referees decide to penalise him in this crucial moment. I think that's a tough penalty.
17 to go, Darryl. 12-6 of the Rabbitohs. And now Adam Reynolds has a chance to make the 6-8. By taking them to 14-6 with 16.5 to go. We're getting down to the championship round now. We go inside the final 10 minutes and it's round 12 and a heavyweight boxing bout between two great teams.
If it comes down in front, Walshy, don't head to the sideline too quick.
Here he is, right boot strikes it. It has the distance, got it in direction, straight between the uprights at the north end. Magnificent kick this time from just off centre. 14-6, 8-point margin. Rabbitohs heading back to their first grand final victory since 1971, and George Biggins here to witness it with Nolan in his life. But we still have 16 minutes to negotiate. Mark Waddell, he's on the touchline.
Yeah, well, they've certainly created a bit of breathing space for themselves, the Bunnies. I'll tell you what, though, those penalty kicks, as a former goal kicker, sometimes they're the hardest because they're in front and a long way out. There's a lot of exposure to miss the post altogether, but that was a beautiful goal there from Adam Reynolds.
Laffey kicks off, the ball goes in goal and is taken back there by Coruscant. They bring the ball back with Burgess and he's put down on the tackle, George. 15 metres out from the goal line. The live side, hang
that's
on.
A bad call.
That was exactly, I'll just explain. What he just did then, he went to play the ball, fell over. That was exactly what happened with Tony Williams in the first half when he called a scrum. And that could be a pivotal moment there. Really important call. It was Kevin Shane Hayne that yelled out it's okay. Here's the ball now, 41 metres out their own line, South Sydney. The Belmore live site, by the way, they lost power a few minutes ago. Thankfully back now, Keary back on the inside of Chris McQueen. He's held in the tackle by Eastwood and Tolman. He'll play the ball back, the acting half. Aiden gets square, they said. Fifth tackle, kicked by Reynolds. And that's your offside, Dave. That'll be Dave Tyrrell, I'd imagine. And he wasn't going to get there first anyway. As the ball came back to Mitch Brown, and he's put down on his 20-metre line to Perrott.
Play it where you are, Mitch.
He was over the top of Sam Burgess. They let it go as Morris comes now, and he's put down on the tackle now and driven back. Oh, this is grand final defence by South Sydney. They'll play the ball back. They probably should have got a penalty to tackle before.
Yeah, I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced he didn't milk that. But he's an experienced player, Josh Morris, and he did that well. They need to get in the game. Some of their backs need to get in the game a little bit more here, the Dogs, because they're struggling once again to get out of their own territory.
I'm just going to say this to you. Say they score, and we've got 10 to go at 14-12. What a game. What a game. 14-6 at the moment. Rabbitohs over the Dogs. 14 to go. Pritchard plays the ball back. Comes back away. Straight and hard goes Tolman. He's put down. 32 metres out. This is where they need Hodkinson. Plays it back. Now Jackson's gone to acting half. Hodkinson inside ball to Pritchard. Then back to Perrott. He's broken them, but he's dropped down. Great defence. 22 metres out, and Burgess there again. And Perrott's been injured. They're concerned for him immediately. Let's have a listen. It's Sam Perrott. He's been hit the tackle by two players. Ben Teo is one, I think. And Burgess, he's holding his face. Here he is. Where's Teo? Yeah, bang, got him. Penalty.
It'll be a penalty.
It'll be a penalty. Teo clocked him right around the Adam's apple.
They got 3.
Great shot of Bobby McCarthy and John Sattler in the crowd, sitting in a private box. The body, Bobby McCarthy, and the great John Sattler played in a grand final with a broken jaw. Oh, they're not going to have a penalty. Oh,
Well, they're kidding.
That's a joke.
Hit him in the throat with a swinging arm.
What's happened there? Well, I just can't believe that. Graham back away to Tolman. He's put down. Anyway, we'll concentrate in the game. I just had a fait accompli penalty there. 6 more tackles. They wouldn't be taking a kick at goal. Plays it back to Jackson, who's gone to acting half. Then to Graham. Graham goes across field. Pop the ball back away to Morris. He's put down on the tackle. 5th tackle. 9 metres out. They need another set here. They'll play the ball. The acting half is there. Out the back it comes. Hodkinson sent the ball wide to Eastwood. Eastwood's going to kick over the top. Not a bad kick either. Going back for it, and he's going to card it dead. He took it in the in goal there before he got there, however. So it's back for the optional restart on the 20-metre line. Mark Riddell, what do you think of the high tackle?
Look, I was waiting for the penalty. I thought it was a... Geez, for what we've seen throughout the year, that's a penalty every day of the week.
I just can't believe it. He hit him across the Adams apple. Anyway, it'll be in the papers tomorrow. It won't have much impact, or a big tackle by Eastwood over the top, and I think it was on Burgess. It was. He gets up and plays the ball back. The acting half, number 17, they've lost it out the back, so play on. No.
Well, Dave Tyrrell's down here. He got smashed by James Graham. I think it was legal.
Well, they're saying it was legal, but let me have a look at it. Dave Tyrrell's on the broad of his back now. What happened? Teo and Lottie Dakiri and Inglis are talking to Graham. Here it is now.
It's not a shoulder charge here. Look where my arm is.
It's a head clash. It's a head clash. There's nothing wrong with it.
Nothing wrong with it.
Nothing wrong with it. It's just a head clash. It's one of those things that happens in rugby league.
Well, James Graham's saying it's not a shoulder charge, and it's not a shoulder charge.
It's not a shoulder charge.
It's a legal tackle where they clashed heads.
And he's lost the ball. Well, the South Sydney fans are baying for blood, but Graham's done nothing wrong. And they're going to get a ball here from the scrum. Graham is geeing them up. Mark Riddell on the touchline. Listen to the Canterbury supporters.
Yeah, they're going to get an opportunity here, the Bulldogs. Look, it was a great shot from the English front rower, James Graham. I saw nothing wrong with it. I just thought it was an accidental head clash. The South Sydney side, they were calling for the shoulder charge, but his arm was out trying to wrap around the ball and the ball player. There's no dramas at all. He's inspiring his team here, James Graham.
Well, what's Kevin Shane Hayne going on about? He's having a talk to James. I don't know whether James has... They've got the Medicab out. This young bloke's not too well, but it's one of those collisions that unfortunately happens in rugby league from time to time.
Oh, absolutely. It's a tough body contact sport, and they were zeroing in on him. And unfortunately, when he got the ball then, Dave Tyrrell, it wasn't a great pass. He basically had to stop at his tracks to recover the ball, and he was just a sitting duck for the two Bulldogs players who absolutely smashed him. But at the end of the day, it was an accident. It was a head clash.
Now, Sam Burgess is having a bit to say to the referee as well.
It's scrum here, their ball. I'd already talked.
Okay, well, you've just heard, and that's why Graham was sort of going off, because he'd already made the decision scrum their ball because they're the attacking side, and the ball's been lost.
Well, originally he said when the ball was lost, play on. He said play on. It's gone backwards, but then they've had a look at it here, and they've claimed that the ball has come off Tyrrell into one of the Bulldogs players, clearly.
Anyway, 12 and a half to go. Strap yourselves in for a graphic. Last 12 and a half minutes. Gripping stuff. The Rabbitohs 14, the Bulldogs 6. And young Dave Tyrrell is being put on the Medicab now with a neck brace. It's all precautionary because he suffered a head clash with James Graham. And a lull in proceedings here at ANZ Stadium in front of a record crowd since, of course, the reconfiguration of the ground.
We're working that.
Kevin Shane Hayne just having a little word here. Now, there was a shot on the big screen of James Graham. He cheekily looked at the crowd, and the noise you can hear in the background is a combination of delight from Canterbury fans and boos from South Sydney fans. They're all screaming they want him off. He won't be going anywhere. The referee's adjudicated.
Oh, they'll be booing in a minute when they realise the Bulldogs have got the scrum feed.
Well, Freddie Fittler's quite mad, of course, as you know, at the Channel 9 company. He just walked in front of the Canterbury crowd and orchestrated them to get a bit louder. He's cuckoo, Freddie. But he's a good bloke, but he's quite cuckoo. He loves all this, Frederick. And, of course, famously got his name when he was an 18-year-old or 19-year-old playing for New South Wales, and Jack Gibson, the coach, walked in and had no idea who he was and called him Fred. And it's stuck ever since, Fred Fittler.
Well, you know what his original nickname was?
No.
Adolf. It was.
Adolf Fittler, yeah. Well, I think he's much better suited. And we're all
exactly.
happier.
I agree. Freddie's perfect for him. He's a typical Freddie. Have a look at the eye on Sam Burgess there. I mean, this is what a courageous, inspirational performance from him.
Well, it's almost closed.
Don't they love him?
And look, if they are to win it, it's on his back, but ably assisted by some other great players as well. Tio's been particularly strong in this second half.
Well, both his brothers have been good too. They've been excellent.
Here's the replay now. Here's the replay now of this first tackle. Here it is, look, of Burgess. And they're showing some highlights at the moment while there's a lull in proceedings of the impact he's had. And that was that diving catch when there was a kick coming through towards the goal post that was about 10 minutes ago. Then an offload that led to Coruscant making ground. Now,
he's a great loss to our game, you know. He's a great loss to rugby league.
Lovely man too, into the bargain.
Out of the East Club in Brisbane. And been placed on the medical cab. Bulldog fans, Rabbitohs fans, let's hear from Dave Tyrrell tonight about to lead the win.
Anyway, South Sydney's front rower, Dave Tyrrell's been taken by the Medicab to consult with the medical staff inside the dressing rooms after a head clash. And I'm still scratching my head, and no one can explain to me. I mean, if things happen in the heat of battle, but how they missed the high tackle by Ben Teo and Sam Perrott has still got me absolutely flummoxed. Now, this is the South Sydney fans who've just discovered that it's a scrum feed to Canterbury. They won't be happy about this. Now, let me set the stage, ladies and gentlemen. There's 12 minutes and 37 seconds to go in this grand final. The Rabbitohs lead by 8. If they score from this set of 6 Canterbury, and we get to either 14-10 or 14-12, well, by the crikey, fasten the seatbelts for a gripping last 10 minutes. Now, Jason Clark coming back out to replace Dave Tyrrell. We're with you until 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock in Queensland, with daylight saving coming into New South Wales, Victoria, the ACT today. They win the scrum, obviously. Canterbury, and Morris is put down by Adam Reynolds on the far side of the field. He's had a great game too, Reynolds. A lot of defence in that first half. They'll play the ball back to Brown. Brown gives it to Eastwood. He goes at the defence and held on the tackle now. Oh, there's a penalty here. I think I saw a shoulder charge. I think I saw a shoulder charge on Eastwood, and I think it may have been Tom Burgess.
We've got blood here on the back of the head.
We've got blood in the back of the head, he's saying.
It was Tom Burgess who came into the shoulder charge. He's the one who's been penalised here.
I just saw him out the corner of my eyes. He gets a slap on the back from Chris McQueen. Here it is. And what it was Jason, from the shoulder charge, Eastwood ricocheted back and hit Jason Clark, smack dab in the head. And Clark came reeling out of it. He's all right, I think, Clark. And let's have a listen.
Shoulder charge on report.
Well, they don't like shoulder charges much, the match review committee, and they normally come up with a fairly high grading. Now, he's got to come off, and that's a big loss for them. Moses Dembai is coming back out now because Greg Eastwood's come from the field to be attended to. That's not a concussion ruling. It's just that he's got a head cut, the back of his head. He's okay, never lost consciousness or appeared disoriented as the ball comes to Tolman now. Tolman goes into the fence, and South Sydney realise their grand final is on the line here. With 11:40 to go, they've got to defend like they've never defended before. Mbai to Graham. Graham goes at them. He's held on the tackle now, 9 metres out. The Burgess boys accommodating. Teo there as well. They play the ball back. Mbai gave it back to Reynolds. Reynolds out the back to Williams. Williams went at the line and put down 5 metres out on the 4th tackle. Can they score next 2 tackles? Mbai, the acting half again. Sends the ball back away. Now it's to Tolman. Tolman runs at them. This will be a 5th tackle. 5 out from the goal line, right in front of the post. Mbai's looking for Hodkinson. He's standing directly behind him. It comes to Hodkinson now. He's going to kick over the top. Lottie Takiri goes back. Oh, the ball's there in goal. And it's taken by South Sydney. Inglis is back into the field to play, but hang on. A knock-on goal line dropout. A goal line dropout. Well, I thought Morris may have been taken out in goal myself, but they've got the next best option. It's a goal line dropout. Let me look at the clock. 10:54 to go. They get it back for 6 more. Here's the kick from Hodkinson. Menaced by Teo. They go high. No, he just slipped over. And it's been knocked on by Takiri, then taken by Sam Burgess, who gave it at the back to Inglis, who get into the field of play.
Geez, they were lucky. Sam Burgess again cleaned that up.
Unbelievable. Look, it doesn't matter what happens. He's Clive Churchill medal material. They'll be making the decision next 5 minutes. He can't have lost it now. Down on the touchline, Mark Riddell.
Yeah, I think the referee's got that decision right, but the Bulldogs, look, they need to score. They've got to score in this set of 6. But this South Sydney defence has been outstanding tonight.
Here's the dropout. That's an unbelievable dropout. Goes back to Perrott, and Perrott's going to give the ball back away to Jackson. It went 60 metres. Jackson's still 42 out, and he's run 20 metres. He'll play the ball back, Jackson. 42 out. Moses Mbai goes to acting half yet again. The ball comes on the outside of Pritchard. 14-6 to score. Rabbitohs over the Dogs with exactly 10 to go in the grand final. 8 points of difference. Now the ball back to Graham. Graham at the line. Oh, we got under a high tackle, I thought, by Sam Burgess. He'll play the ball 22 metres out. Back to Tolman. Out the back, Reynolds. Reynolds is dummied to the outside. Back on the inside to Laffey. Laffey hasn't as much to do tonight as he did last week. He's 10 metres out. 4th tackle. Tim Laffey will play the ball back. Moses Mbai. The ball comes to Tolman. Tolman away from them. Still going Tolman. He's held on the tackle. Burgess again, is it? He's put down on the tackle. He'll play the ball 5 out from the goal line. To his feet. Plays it back. 5th tackle. Comes to Graham. He gave it at the back. Reynolds. Little kick in behind them. The ball in the in goal. Knocked on. It's there for Laffey. Scrum. Alex Johnston's knocked the ball on for South Sydney. Goal line dropout, knocked on in goal. 2nd consecutive one. The pressure mounts. 9 to go. He signals time off because someone threw the ball away.
Well, they're under incredible pressure here, South Sydney, but I will say this, their defence has been magnificent. It's been magnificent all night. On that occasion, unfortunately for Alex Johnston, he dropped it. Bit of luck again for the Bunnies here. There was no Bulldogs player there to take advantage of it, but once again, they're going to get another set of 6 at them. They've still got time. There's 9 minutes to go in this game.
Well, I don't know who threw the ball away, but they want to take that off and put on a pumpkin because immediately they threw the ball out the back over the advertising triangles. He signals time off. And that would have taken about 45 seconds, so they've lost no time. Canterbury, there's another big dropout again. Goes to Perrott. He'll give the ball again to Jackson. He'll be tackled almost in immediately the same place, and he is. Now, John Sutton was there. He'll play the ball back along with Burgess. To his feet, the acting half is there. Moses Mbai away to Graham. Graham's dropped down 32 metres out. Moses Mbai back to acting half. The pass comes on the outside of Pritchard. They're inside the 30. They're up towards the 20. That's the 3rd tackle. They'll play the ball 21 metres out, Canterbury. They definitely need to score here. Moses Mbai again. Across it comes. On the outside, Tolman. Reynolds. Then the ball away to Williams. He pushed away from them. Got the ball over the top. That's been taken by a South Sydney player after being knocked on. No, knocked back, he says. And it's fallen on by Johnston. In fact, no, Johnston's at acting half, so it's been fallen on by, I think, Dylan Walker. And time off they get. Well, that's him again. That's him again. That's what you get with Tony Williams. You get a try, and you get 5 or 6 or 7 mistakes.
Well, he didn't need to throw that ball. It was a panic ball. He had it in one hand. He tried to basketball it over the top. It got knocked back by a South player. I think it went to Luke Keary. Let's have a look. Oh, no, it was Keary who he bounced off. Let's have a look at what happened here. Williams got it. Then on the outside, Ava'a came in. The ball got knocked back, and it went, no doubt it went backwards. Now, Coruscant, I think, has picked that up, and he's got hammered. Well, I think Josh Reynolds here has got hit in the head, so they'll probably get a penalty out of this, the Bunnies.
Here's Josh being called in. Let's have a listen. You're right. They'll get a penalty for sure. Well, hang on, the video ref's having a look at it now to see exactly what they did. He came over the top. It's not a Bulldog tackle, but he's calling him back out now. You see this?
Why is he looking at? He's looked at it 3 times. He's hit him in the head.
Yeah, but this is the inconsistency. Perrott got in there too.
Absolutely.
High contact. Yeah, I understand this head,
So the score remains 14-6 and time is now on South Sydney's side because there's only 8 to go. He signalled time off. And South Sydney heading for glory and a premiership for the first time since 1971. History will be created. Excluded from the competition. They fought in the federal court. They got knocked over in the federal court. The full bench of the federal court upheld their appeal and back they came. And within a decade and a bit, they're in a grand final with a chance of winning it, more than a chance. As the ball comes back to Tom Burgess, he takes 3 defenders with him. One more try seals it here for South Sydney and their fans to savour. The ball out the back, straight and hard they go. Look like Teo with it, or is it Sutton? He'll play the ball back now. It was Teo, right the first time. Out the back to Sam Burgess. Oh, great field position now thanks to Sam Burgess. A runaway winner of the man of the match, I think, of the Clive Churchill medal. Here's the ball 20 metres out. The ball on the outside to Keary. He turns it back on the inside of Burgess. This time it's Big Tom. He's put down 5th tackle, but they're looking ominous here from 11 out. They'll play the ball back. Coruscant back to Reynolds. Kicks over the top. The ball's coming down. They go high. They plug it out the back. McQueen. They've got another kick on now for Johnston. Johnston getting through. The ball has beaten them all, but now it's forced in goal. I think the centre three-quarter, Kiri Avava, has scored the try that wins at the grand final. I'm sure he's got it down. They'll need to have a look, and they are going to have a look. But I'm sure he's the man that's forced the ball just inside the touching goal line. It is Kiri Avava. He'll be going to the history books as the man that won the game with only 7 to go.
Well, it's Avaha for sure. There's no doubt in my mind this is a try. There was a ball, there was a kick put in. First of all, it was McQueen went up. He tapped it back to Inglis. Now, Inglis got it. He had a look, had a quick look on his outside. He saw that Johnson was clear. He's put the chip in. Johnson's tried to get to it. The ball's eluded him, but it's bounced back on the inside to Avaha, who has scored a magnificent try. He's come from a long way back here, Avaha. The ball bounced over both Thompson and also Johnston's head. I reckon that's a try. I want to see if he got it down head on. Let's have a look at it here now. Avaha gets there. He's by himself. The ball's about to go over the dead ball line. Did he catch it and get it down?
That's a try.
I think it is. I think he got downward pressure with his right hand.
Mark Waddell, a try for mine.
Oh, that's a try. That's an unbelievable try. Here we go, Ray.
Decision pending. They win the grand final with the green light. They do. South Sydney win the grand final for sure and certain now. They lead 18-6 with a kick to come from out wide with only 7 to go. And the South Sydney fans, among the 83,833 here, can't contain themselves. And by the living Harry, won't they go up at Redfern later tonight? My goodness gracious me. 43 years since they got to a grand final, and 43 years since they won a grand final, and they will win this one. They have been the better team for the bulk of the game, a near perfect first half. They completed 20 of 21, and now, just to add the icing on the cake, the kick from this little halfback Adam Reynolds will put them clear by 14 points. And they win the grand final come what may with 6 to go. It's now out of the grasp of the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs as Frank Pritchard comes from the field.
I reckon he'll kick this. I think he'll kick this.
We'll soon know. Right boot strikes it towards the uprights. I think you're right, Darryl. It's leather perfect. It's straight between the uprights at the northern end, and the Rabbitohs secure the 2014 NRL Grand Final despite the fact there's 5.5 to go because they lead by 20 points to 6. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is an unassailable lead. And history is being created in front of 83,833 fans here at ANZ Stadium.
And you can see all the boys on the sideline here, all their reserves. They're up there toey. They can't wait to get out there and join their teammates in what has been a magnificent defensive display from them tonight. They deserve this. They have been just brilliant tonight.
And Corey Thompson got the short kick off from Canterbury and is put down on the tackle 30 metres out. So Canterbury never say die, but they can't win. Here's the ball back to Perrott. Jackson, save of the moment, you South Sydney fans, across the length and breadth of the world, on the World Wide Web, and on network stations across Australia, because this is an historic victory. 20 points to 6. I don't think I've seen a more emotional, energy-tapping grand final than this one. Moses Mbai gave the ball to Hodkinson. Out the back, Pritchard. What's he doing back? I just saw him go off the field. The ball's been touched, picked up by Williams. He goes on the attack now. Am I going mad? Didn't I see Frank Pritchard?
Yeah, he came off when he was trying to kick the goal.
Anyway, he's back on by the time they kick off. Here's the ball to Hodkinson, then to Morris. He palms away from one. Reynolds it was, but he's put down. 4 to go. South Sydney leading by 20 points to 6 on the first tackle for Canterbury. The ball with Pritchard, then to Williams. And Williams goes at the defence. He'll play the ball 5 out from the goal line. The acting half is there. South Sydney with emotion on their side. And the bulk of the rugby league world on their side as Reynolds kicks in goal, but it's easily taken by the wing three-quarter Alex Johnston, who tried to get away from Corey Thompson. He takes the tap and he's away. He ran 10 or 12 metres and Corey Thompson chased him all the way and tackled him once he got onside. He'll play the ball 11 short of halfway, Alex Johnston. 6 to go, of course, 0 tackles, 7 tackles from the restart. There's 3:35 to go. The Rabbitohs over the Dogs by 20 points to 6 here at ANZ Stadium. They play the ball ever so carefully. Back it comes to Lottie Dakiri. Sam Burgess, a standout for man of the match. He's been absolutely Herculean. They play the ball back. Apasai Coruscant sends the ball away. Looks like McQueen with it now. Tyrrell injured and off the field. They play it back again. Coruscant. Then the ball to Sutton. Little left footer. They're herring through after it. It bounces up nicely. Oh, they run to the post and Reynolds scores. Sam Perrott went into a post and Reynolds scores a try. 24 points to 6 with a kick to come. Well, you wouldn't believe it. Perrott was running back to tidy up a kick. He ran straight into the padding of the post. Couldn't go forward, and Reynolds, after the John Sutton kick, has scored. 24-6, the Rabbitohs over the Dogs.
Well, that's amazing. That is amazing. I mean, you know it's not your night, and they've tried very hard here tonight, the Bulldogs, and probably don't deserve to get beaten by the margin they're going to be beaten by. But that was a beautifully weighted kick from Sutton. It took an awful bounce for Sam Perrott, who was steaming down after it. He was first there, but unfortunately it bounced back towards the post. He couldn't avoid the goal post. But you know who could? Adam Reynolds, who has had a cracking game here tonight as well. He's played really well, Adam Reynolds. We had Buzz Rothfield on yesterday afternoon saying this was a career-defining game for Adam Reynolds. There's a camera on Greg Inglis here. He knows they're going to win it. He's almost in tears, Greg Inglis. This is a magnificent performance from a great side.
And the kick will come from the man that scored the try. The grand final was not in doubt. It was never in doubt from the time that the centre three-quarter, Kiri Avava, scored the try to put them in front by that margin of 18-6. Inglis is now inspiring the fans to lift the lid on ANZ Stadium, as is Lottie Dakiri, and history's being created as Reynolds tries to convert his own try. Well, the man of the match competition is fairly simple. The first person through on 1300-722-873 and to say Sam Burgess gets $150. Here's the kick directly between the uprights, 26-6 with 90 seconds to go. There'll be a kick-off, and every one of the South Sydney players, John Sutton, Greg Inglis, Lottie Dakiri, Luke Keary, Chris McQueen, Alex Johnston, asking the crowd to acknowledge what they've done. Quite remarkable. The fairy tale does come true for the Rabbitohs. The movie star. Well, he couldn't be happier. Sam Burgess has absolutely lost it and is crying uncontrollably. He gets up, tears are streaming down his cheeks. An emotional scene. I've never seen the like on a rugby league field. The emotion that these boys have carried for a long, long time is now showing when they know they've got the game won with 1:24 to go. And South Sydney rampage from the kick-off back. So 1300-722-873, the first person through and saying Sam Burgess gets the $150 thanks to Bryden's compensation lawyers. The Harvey Norman man of the match is, of course, Sam Burgess. So that's a simple competition. We just need you to say Sam Burgess, first one through, you win the $150. from Brighton's compensation lawyers. Exactly 1 to go. South Sydney with the ball now. Sutton delays it out the back. Keary's gone straight through. Breaks away from a tackle. Forward pass back on the inside to Inglis, but Inglis doesn't care. He streaks away and scores a brilliant try. Back-to-back tries, and now he does a crawl at the camera. 30 points to 6. The referee will point to the spot in a moment or two. He's going to call time off. I don't know why. Well, he can't rule on the forward pass that I called.
It's got to be an obstruction, but it was a forward pass. In saying that, what a sight. Greg Inglis in full flight when he's in a bit of space. He just exploded away. 100 to 1 he was, Perrott, to get to him, and Inglis just exploded away, scored, did the go-winner. How good is it?
Sensational. The go-winner crawl was done. And here it is. I don't know why they're looking at the replay. They're looking for obstruction. They're looking at the South Sydney player. This happened on the 40-metre line near end of the field. I don't know, it was like trying to overhaul a protest after 20 metres from the start. Here it is here. They'll come back to the replay. And Inglis, Sutton, Keary, no drama there. It's a forward. They can't rule on a forward pass, but it was forward.
How long have we been saying you should be able to rule it? Makes no difference. No. Brilliant try to him, but the pass was forward. There's no doubt.
He wanted to try. They're going to get the green light. It doesn't matter. They had the game won. It's academic. With 35 seconds to go, it's a try. And the kick at goal will bring a halt to proceedings. And listen to this, ladies and gentlemen. Have a listen. Sam Burgess is going to take the last shot at goal through cleary eyes.
Wouldn't you be dirty if you had 32-6 for pick the score and you let see Sammy having the last kick? You'd be a bit filthy.
Well, that's unless, of course, he kicks
it.
He
can kick it. He can do anything.
But that's, of course, in line with the fact that someone's got 30 to 6 and they'll be happy he misses it. Anyway, they have won the grand final, and training staff, the coach, everyone on the field now shedding tears. And there's Isaac Luke in his South Sydney jumper, hugging Adam Reynolds. Here he is. He kicks it. Oh, it's shaved the upright. He misses the kick. Sam Burgess from the touchline. That's full time. And ladies and gentlemen, South Sydney create history. They win the grand final by 30 points to 6 over the Bulldogs, and they hold Sam Burgess aloft in much the way that John Sattler was held aloft so many years ago. Let's have a listen. So glory, glory to South Sydney. Some wonderful vision appearing on our screens here from South Sydney stalwarts. Mark Riddell's trying to get amongst them down there, and as soon as we have Piggy in the thick of it, we'll go to him. Well, Peter Vasolis is there as well with a radio mic. Mark Riddell there, just waiting for the South Sydney players. All the training staff are there. The full contingent of 25 players who've taken part in the year are there as well. Let's have a listen.
Formation tonight, they're a champion team. I want to send my love to Isaac Luke. Feel for admission tonight, but we played well for our team. I want to say hello to my family. And most of all, we did it for you, the fans. It's been a long time. Let's enjoy it, guys.
That's Sam Burgess. We'll have him confirmed, I think, it's a Clive Churchill better a little bit later. Mark Riddell in the thick of the South Sydney camp at the moment, along with Peter Vasolis. I'll find out which were the two we're going to. Salty's there. I think he's got Lottie Dakiri with him. Let's go to Peter Vasolis right now.
I do, Ray. I've got Lottie Dakiri with me. Well, Lottie, how does it feel, mate? What a performance.
Oh, mate, I'm still soaking it up. I don't know, mate. The guys just dug deep, and we just knew we just had to play the way we sort of have been all year. Stick to our process. That's been a big word for us this year, and when you know it could sort of come close to us, and that happened tonight, mate.
14 years ago, you won your first personally. Did you think you'd be back on this stage in the NRL winning a premiership with a club like the Bunnies?
Not at 35 years of age and not at the South Sydney Rabbitohs. I think that was they got let back in the comp the year I came back and the year I sort of debuted. And it's an unbelievable story for South Sydney as well. Just happy and elated to be part of such a great club and such a good bunch of blokes.
Those blokes, you're playing in the outside backs there, they're 19, 20 years of age. They've got you playing like a teenager.
Oh, mate, you just grow as I'm not growing as a bloody old man, I'm growing as a bloody young man, so it's been a great year.
Well done, mate.
Thanks, Pete.
Thank you, Lottie. Talking to Peter Vasolis down there. We'll get to Mark Riddell in a moment as well. Salty, well done. And now, it's almost impossible to get into the South Sydney cordon at the moment because the players are just being absolutely embraced by everyone connected with the club. There's Shane Richardson among them. And the coaches down there as well, Madge Maguire. And we've now got the obligatory ice bucket being dragged out by the 3 and the 6, and they're looking for the coach. They're looking for the coach, and they're going to sneak up on him right now. And there he is. The Gatorade has gone over his clothes. He's got the Gatorade.
That's
and Dylan Walker and young Keary.
Well, Piggy was hanging back a bit, I think. I don't think he wanted to get wet.
No, Piggy's too smart for that. In fact, Mark Riddell is downstairs now. He's about to have a yarn with a bloke who made a big difference in that early second half. Ben Teo, all yours, Piggy.
Talk about a difference, Benny Teo. Benny, how good's that, mate?
Oh, man. Been in the game for eight some years now and always dreamed of it. Never knew if it was going to happen, but a lot of hard work, 2 years of hard work, and wow, I don't know.
Certainly special, especially the fact you're leaving the game.
Yeah, look, I couldn't ask for a better finish, you know. I don't know how long I'm going for, but wow, there's a special bunch of guys, and I love this game, and I'm just really proud to be a part of this game.
What about the resolve of your defence tonight? The Dogs had set after set in the back end of that second half, but you just kept turning them away.
We had to. Look at Sam's face, man. Tyrrell going off the field, Bully being ruled out. You had to pull something special out. This is a great team over here, the Dogs. Heart goes out to them, what they're feeling, and it's just what we trained for all year.
How much of a role has Michael Maguire played in this team? He's been a phenomenal coach for you blokes over the last few years. You finally get one for him.
He turned this club around, you know, and he pushes you every day. When you're sore, when you're tired, when you're injured, he pushes you. That's why he's a great coach.
Benny, go and enjoy it, mate, with all the boys. Congratulations, good luck in rugby.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ben Teo, leaving the game to go elsewhere, of course. Now, David Beamer from Woodbine was the first through on the competition line to say Sam Burgess. He gets the $150 from Brighton's compensation lawyers. The footy tab dividend comes through Sydney
Yeah, I'm down here with the South Sydney halfback, Adam Reynolds. Reno, mate, how good's that?
Yeah, mate, words can't describe what I'm feeling, mate. It's a dream come true, mate, especially with all our fans. They've been loyal from day one, and mate, this victory is just for all of them, our family, our friends. But I can't describe what I'm feeling at the moment.
Mate, just going back on the game, you're 6-0 up at half-time. How are you boys feeling? Did you think you should have been further in front?
Oh, mate, we were confident going into the break. We knew it took a bit of petrol out of their tank, and it's still a tough game. And credit to our boys, mate. We just played for 80 minutes today, and mate, it's unbelievable.
Mate, go and enjoy it with the boys. Get over there. Well done, bud.
Okay, well done to you, Mark. We'll take that break and come back with more on the continuous call. Well, incredible scenes here. Absolutely incredible scenes. As I would think hardly anyone's got. We're waiting to go downstairs. I don't know who to. Mark Riddell, let's go to him right now.
Yeah, Ray, I don't have anyone at the moment, but I just witnessed something pretty special. Russell Crowe was down here on the field. He pulled Isaac Luke aside, and he had some words to say to him, and then he produced a ring, and he presented Isaac Luke with a ring. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it'd be a grand final ring of some description, but it was a ring. It was a very special moment between the two. And yeah, Russell Crowe down here now presenting Isaac Luke with some sort of ring.
Yeah, well, I'd say that he's gone to the NRL and got the design of the grand final ring, and that's the ring that he would have given to Isaac Luke. I saw them in the exchange. I didn't know what was happening, but thank you for confirming it. Russell Crowe, the team owner, has given Isaac, who missed the grand final via a judiciary charge, a grand final ring. And I guess what happened, of course, Jonathan Thurston got a ring when in 2004 he gave it to Stephen Price, who was out injured from that grand final victory by Canterbury back then. Anyway, Burgess has just run from his mum Julie back in field. Des Hasler showing great dignity and composure and congratulating the victors. And the Burgess boys had a tremendous impact on what happened here today. And still, there's a cordon around the South Sydney players, and we're about to see the presentation start as well. Let's go downstairs to Peter Vasolis right now. Peter?
Yeah, thanks, Ray. I've got Dave Tyrrell here with me. Well, Dave, you took a chance, came down from Queensland, and now you won a premiership here with the South Sydney Rabbitohs. An emotional night.
Yeah, mate, I can't really describe the feeling, but I'm really glad I took that chance, and yeah, it's so rewarding. Yeah, I don't know how to describe it, mate.
What makes the group of players that you play with week in, week out such a special group? You've got a very tight bond here.
Yeah, we're all good mates. Everybody gets on really well, and yeah, there's no way to describe. Everyone just for each other. Yeah.
Do you believe that scoreline after that game was still in the balance with 8 minutes to go?
Yeah, we on our fitness and just sticking to our structures, and it doesn't matter how tired you are, you just got to keep doing it. So, yeah, very, very happy to finish the game like that.
Well done. Congratulations on not only the year with the team, but for yourself personally. Well done.
Thanks very much, mate.
Well done, Dave, who's come off the deck and got down to the field. Well done to him. We'll take a break, back with more on the continuous call.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Not much wrong with a game of rugby league. The crowd of 83,833 means it's the biggest crowd for any sporting event at ANZ Stadium since it was reconfigured after the Sydney Olympics. And the Clive Churchill medal winner has just been confirmed as Sam Burgess by Kenny Sutcliffe from the Nine Network. And up comes Sam to the delights of the crowd. We're off air, by the way, at 10 o'clock, 11 minutes from now. And here's Sam Burgess, the winner of the Clive Churchill medal, being given by Clive's widow, Mrs. Joyce Churchill. Sam bends over, and I don't think we've ever had a more deserving winner of any medal.
He was sensational tonight. He's clearly got a problem with his cheekbone. It was the first tackle of the game, and he went on there and he inspired these blokes. He's just an inspirational bloke, and he's a caring bloke too.
Let's have a listen.
Hey. Wow, lots of words. First of all, I just want to congratulate the Bulldogs on a great year. They've been fantastic. I send my best wishes out to Michael Ennis. I know it's disappointing for him to miss. I want to say I'm accepting this award on behalf of my team. It's been the journey that we've been through all year as a team of 30 players. So one player probably don't deserve this, so I'm accepting it on behalf of my team. I want to thank my family, my mum especially, for everything she's done for me over the years. I love you, Mum. I want to thank all the staff that have been a part of this ride as well. I like to say I want to thank my team. Last of all, I want to thank the fans for a cracking year that I'll never forget. Thank you. Have a great night.
Well done, Sam. Well done. So what happens now, the South Sydney players will come onto the dais. At the southern end, officiating the Prime Minister, Mr. Tony Abbott, the Premier, Mr. Mike Baird, the Chairman of the ARL Commission, Mr. John Grant, and of course, Mrs. Clive Churchill, Joyce Churchill. And James Graham leads his team up first for their medals. And we'll hear from James, I would imagine, as he accepts the congratulations for their effort. And they should be congratulated because they put up a great performance, the Bulldogs, but beaten in the end 30 points to 6. The co-captains are up there, Trent Hodkinson and James Graham. Let's have a listen.
Yeah, bit of a tough one to take for us, but I'd like to thank our boys for the effort that they've not just put in today, throughout the year, and extend that to the whole organisation. And I'd also like to congratulate Salson on taking home the trophy today. He's played outstanding, but most of all, I'd like to thank the fans, so both Bulldogs, Salson, and everyone else. You make this game great, and without you, we'd have nothing. So thanks for everyone for turning up today. We do appreciate it as players.
So James talks on behalf of Trent and the team.
He deserves to win a premiership, you know. I think he's played in 8 premierships and lost a lot. 2 in Australia and 6 in England. It's incredible. And
no better competitor than him. Absolutely sensational performance by him, but overshadowed by another Englishman in Sam Burgess tonight, the winner of the Clive Churchill medal. Just getting some messages from people with a greater knowledge of medical matters than me. They say that fracture that he has, Burgess, he's got to get that treated urgently. There'll be no time for a celebration. They tell me he needs to get to a hospital and be viewed and x-rayed, and the fracture needs to be properly operated on, I imagine. Well, I'm sure that the medical staff there at the Bunnies will be aware of that, and I'd say as soon as this is over, he might be able to spend a little bit of time in there. They'll assess it and do what they've got to do. What a courageous performance. You probably can't say it's up there with John Sattlers with a broken jaw, but I suppose we just have to wait and see what the outcome is. But it does look like it's a fractured cheekbone minimum. Anyway, we've just about run out of time here, unfortunately. So we'll be leaving you shortly, not just for tonight, but for the year. I want to thank quite a number of people, headed up by Bob Fulton, Darryl Broman, Mark Riddell, Stephen Blocker-Roach, Andrew Moore, all the other people who've participated through the year, like Mark Levy, Billy McGee, and of course our outgoing around the grounds man, Donnie Mosley, who's been an integral part of the continuous call team for as long as I've been part of the continuous call team, 28 years, and he retires this year. Billy and Mark will take up the baton and fulfil the roles previously fulfilled by, of course, the great Donnie, and also Chris Warren, who's made his debut calling for us this year and was heard earlier today with his comprehensive coverage of the New South Wales Queensland Cup Grand Final. So it's been a wonderful year. We're going to come back bigger and better. We're going on the second leg of the final farewell tour. We come back next year for our 29th year, and I want to thank all the people who've contributed. Our engineers, of course, Tony and Barry and all the staff back in the studio. We're going to go out with the South Sydney theme song. Congratulations to the Rabbitohs over Canterbury by 30 points to 6 to be the winners of the 2014 NRL Grand Final.
South Sydney, South Sydney marches on.
When speaking of the champions, one stands above the rest. Glory's old and records proud when often put to test. A fine tradition's history that others cannot best. They wear the red and green.
Glory, glory to South Sydney. Glory, glory to South Sydney. Glory, glory to South Sydney. South Sydney marches on.
They mauled the Balmain Tigers, slew the Dragons from St. George. Seagulls and the Mounties next were crushed with mighty force. They humbled Parramatta and the Berries in due course. They wear the red and green.
Glory, glory to South Sydney. Glory, glory to South Sydney. Glory, glory to South Sydney. South Sydney marches on.
They plucked the Western Magpies, slashed the Newtown Vagaboo. The eastern suburbs Rooster crowed and then was conquered